Right, like,
Yes,
are you into animals and
otherwise
stuff?
known as Jew.
No, these
Yeah,
days,
who
like
died?
I did have a womanizer, like I was
Turkish,
a gym
Turkish,
rat womanizer
Syrian,
for a portion of my life,
Turkish,
but I'm
Turkish.
definitely like some kind of weird
Yeah,
celibate alien right now.
yeah, I got that part. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
I
that.
think I got that too, Tommy. Pretty much everybody else, I think, thinks that.
Yeah,
So,
because whenever I go down, like I'm gonna do this thing I read about in a James Allen book, where I'm gonna try and spend like a year or two on my land, just away from all humans, and just go on that spiritual fucking pilgrimage, you know?
well, why don't you start like today?
Because I don't
Like.
have any structure down there, and I don't have a vehicle to get down there.
Dude, yeah, okay, dude, that's so contradictory, so contradictory to what you said before, because you said you were going on pilgrimage and then you said, "Oh, but I don't have anything to build on." Yeah, dude, that's what the pilgrimage is about. So please,
No, I
no,
I am
no,
in
start making sense, please.
I
Stop,
am in
please
various
start
stock
making
plays. Hey, hey,
have a
hey,
point,
hey,
dude.
Haji, Haji,
Yeah,
chill.
yeah,
I am
dude.
in various stock plays that are time sensitive, where I
No,
can't just
no,
drop everything and
no,
go down there.
you're just stirring the shit that
No,
you
you're just
produce.
playing the
And
gotcha
dude,
game. You're
it's
trying to
the
find a
shit
gotcha.
is just in your pot, okay, dude.
Okay, fine. I'm not gonna go do my pilgrimage right now. Are you okay with that? Did I solve your dilemma? Did you run Christos off? Is Christos gone?
No, Christos always pops on and off like that. It's his MO.
He popping off. Well, let me know when he comes back. I can't see my screen too well.
Well, how come?
Because I have my phone right side up, and I just don't care right now. I'm having my morning coffee and shit.
All right. So Yurt, I guess a good time for you to chime in there.
Yeah,
Grand
what's
rising
up?
to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning to everybody. I got a shitty mountain internet here. That's why I
Is
shut
it
the
Starlink?
camera off. And I'm just kind of listening. I'm taking this in. The gotcha games on Tommy. I don't know who this fella is who's on sort of this gay crusade against Tom here, but oh, there he is. Hello, good day to you, sir.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
your Russian language there on the pederast word I thought was super interesting. But yeah, I'm just kind of
Hey,
listening and seeing what we're doing
Austin,
here.
did you catch the skid mark last night?
Oh my god, I went back and watched that clip. It's unbelievable. It's
Did you see that
unbelievable.
OTW last night?
what?
What panel? What are you
Okay,
talking about?
so I had to make a clip because Jack Talcott, after he ended his live stream, he had to say to all of us how in high school his nickname was Skidmark because in gym class his
Oh
some
my
students
god.
in the class saw he had a bunch of skid marks and the chat was like they're like there's only one reason why like somebody would have skid marks, right? And it's because they're too lazy to wipe their own ass. It's like if Jack's that lazy, like
Oh
No, you can have
Jesus.
skid marks from like recklessly farting.
Well, yeah, and Moose, I appreciated how you
Yeah,
tried to
that
push that
probably.
clip on.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Yurt.
Oh, I'm sorry, just real quick. I like how Moose tried to push that clip on me. He's like, "Here, Austin, here, you take it, you play it." I'm like, "Dude,
I
I'm not
showed
playing this."
everybody.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just making the joke.
Do you have any
Oh,
experience with Starlink?
What's that?
When you said you have crappy mountain internet, have you had any experience with Starlink internet?
No, I've just heard from Moose that it's pretty shitty if there's trees and things.
Yeah,
it
I'm
But
looking
works
for
no,
here
people
at
I'm
the
that
on
can.
house.
some, yeah, I'm on some house internet in the mountain, and it's shitty when there's bad weather or wind or you know,
Yeah, I know.
you know. All right.
No, I'll probably try it down on my land because there isn't any trees for miles, but I want to find someone that's had a lot of use out of it and see what they say about it.
Yeah, I think I heard you say you were in the Alamosa area. That's where I just was, and in the Sangre de Cristo region of the mountains.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I love that whole area.
You can see Ute Mountain from my acreage.
That's cool. Yeah, there's some cheaper land down there as opposed to northern Colorado. I've looked at a lot of land, but there's just sort of a lot of nothing between that area and then New Mexico. It gets
That's
pretty
what I like
flat.
about it is my land is waterfront to the river. Like I even have the river in my property line. And then the rest of the land is shit that neighbors would be discouraged to move close to me over, you know? Like I was shooting for the isolation, whether it be for vacation or spiritual or bug out.
I was surprised by how many little homesteads and people were actually out there.
Also,
Looking at
the
the map,
abandoned.
Check the chat,
I was
OTW.
surprised how many are abandoned.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am checking the chat.
I think
Like
the
there's a
private
plot
show.
near me that they started to do a Earthship and then they gave up on it. So if I wanted to do an Earthship, I could go haul all those tires over to my land that they never used when they started it. They just got a pile of tires there and no Earthship to show for it.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research into the Earthships, and they're pretty cool ideas. That
Yeah.
Kirsten Dirksen YouTube channel is showcases or shows a lot of that stuff on YouTube here.
Yeah, I'm also gonna attempt to put some caves into the cliff and like wire them up, maybe even make them like 5-star interior, depending on how it goes.
All right, so I have somebody backstage raising the vibration. They're gone. Wanted to.
Oh no, that's my clip. That's my computer.
Oh, all right.
See,
So what's
whenever I
going
get
on?
too drunk and a
Because
girl's bitching
I
at me
want you to
about
be in the loop
performing,
with what's going on. I have 2 clips from last night that are really crucial.
Dude, that clip is too much, man. I was like, dude, I want nothing to do with it. It's just too funny. Not that it's like so bad. It's just so over the top silliness. And just Talcott saying that and the way he delivers it and everything is just too funny. I don't know if I'm twisted or what, but I was rolling at it, but I don't know.
so in one branch of these streets, we speculate from a distance, of course, that Talcott and Mr. Unslaved seem to be codependent on
These people are
content
not
right
here.
now.
I want to hear. I really want to, and I really don't care about these people, by the way. And I want to. I care about Jay Phillips, Lucid, and I see the scar across it that looks like a dividing in his hair. But they actually cut your
So
head
Lucid's
open.
name is Jay Phillips.
Yeah, Jay Phillips, Lucid.
See, I've been mistaking him and Jeffrey Phillips. Like I wondered if that was
Yeah.
Jeffrey Phillips when he didn't react to me like Jeffrey Phillips would, and now I get it. Now I get it.
Okay, so
Yeah, everybody
so
gets
but
me
did they
mixed up
cut
with
your
that guy.
did they cut your head open like over like right in the scar that I
Well,
see?
most of it was shattered
Yeah,
from
I get
when
that.
the bullet exited.
What caliber
So,
was it? Can we cut the jam for a second?
Please.
What Lucid? What caliber firearm was it?
38 special.
Wow!
If I'd have
Wow!
had the 357, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody survives a Magnum, dude. No.
Well, I mean, you can, but not in that area of your head, no.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what emoji I love using is the head blown.
No, I especially avoided that one. Like I did say my mind's blown, but I think that's the wrong term.
Well, I think I said it a couple of times. You fucking blew my
No,
mind,
man.
man. It's like
I still got
I
the same sense of
avoid
humor,
all
guys.
emojis because I'm 40 fucking 3.
Yeah.
I think that we all should, stop using that emoji, and the only one that can use that emoji from here on is Jay Phillips, Lucid.
No, just stop
He's the only one
using
that can
Zoomer hieroglyphics.
say
I
that.
call them Zoomer hieroglyphics.
Shit, I think it's funny, bro. All the puns that everybody's been coming up with, dude. I love it. It's fucking funny.
I do put a star. If I ever type out the more you know, I will put the star at the end of it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But when Jack Talcott sends me a string of emojis, I curse him and I damn him to hell for being that old, trying to talk like a teenage girl with Zoomer hieroglyphics. And he's got this new thing he does that's taken up all my phone space where I'll send him a text and he'll re-quote it just to give me a thumbs up emoji. I'm like, Jack, you can just send the thumbs up emoji. We're the only two people in the conversation. You don't have to repeat every text back to me, taking up all my RAM, you know?
My God. That's the first time I ever heard somebody complain about their RAM.
Hey, dude, if you gotta go, Lucid, it was great seeing you, and
Great seeing all
it is
you
great
guys, man.
seeing you. Dude.
Yeah, and man, I hope you come back, and I'll make sure to show up on your next live stream.
You
Yeah,
are
man.
an inspiring,
Keep doing those
sir.
30
What
day
is my
challenges,
tense
bro.
for
I do my
inspiring?
PT with you, bro. So
Cool.
Dude, you're an inspiration, brother.
There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you, Moose.
much
Yeah,
love,
and
guys.
you inspire me, man. Just thinking about the fact that you fucking came back from death practically. I mean,
What do you mean? What
if
do
you
you
can
mean?
do it,
If you
we can
come
all
back?
do it.
I mean, there's nobody coming back like Lucid does. Come on,
You're almost like Christ, like
JC.
right?
You know what's
Like-
funny is my initials are JCP.
Imagine that.
Hey, much love, guys. I gotta roll.
All right,
Much
man.
love.
Peace.
Good seeing you guys.
Peace, brother.
Yeah. Take care of yourself, man.
Look at that beard. Strong ass beard.
He doesn't even have to take care of him. He's got these great women around him that take care of him. And I want to praise the women that are around him, that take care of him and that saved him. His woman and his woman's mother, I mean, they saved him. They're still with him.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not just him. It's not something weird. It's the women. Okay? Praise the
they'd
women.
be nowhere without us, dude.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, they
other way
play.
around. No, it's the other
They
way.
have their
I mean,
strength.
you're trying to trigger me, but that's okay. That's okay, Tommy. That's just gay.
I'm not trying to trigger you.
Yeah, you are. You're trying to trigger me. But it is the women around him that saved him.
Once again, what
No, it's the
significance
women.
do you have that I would
women
find
around him
value in
that
triggering?
actually saved him, and therefore I praise the women.
Yes.
See,
good
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, no, good. No, see, again, you turn it around. It's good for Jay. It's good for Lucid.
Good for the women that
It's good for
the
you.
man in
Dude,
their life
it's good
isn't
for you.
dead.
Hey, dude, let me tell you, it's good for you too. Women, it's good for you too. Huh? Try that.
It's relative to
maybe
each
not.
one. Some of them were good for me, some of them not so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Voynich, all right, a.k.a. Flat Earth Fabio, the dictator of the Netherlands. So shout out to Voynich. Please, everybody, go show him some sub love. Check out his channel. He has absolutely no videos, but does a live stream that he deletes once in a while. So if you're lucky enough to catch his live streams, then, make sure to go and show him some support. All right.
But fix that typo. He's a dictator, not a dictator.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was a beautiful, beautiful send off. Voynich, I wish you a beautiful day, brother.
It's a
being sent
beautiful day.
I wasn't sending him off. I was just shouting him out.
Bow, 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 bow.
Oh, yes. We got Ryan Stavely, who had to comment on that one. Dictator, but not dictator.
That's what I said. Only I said he was a dictator.
Yeah, well, anyway. We'll take and leave whatever you say, Tommy, because, we can always depend on your critical thinking for, advice.
You can.
You tend to tip over the board and then, that little drop that makes the vase overflow. You're that kind of drop, dude. You're the one who just does that, You're like that.
I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, I think I give you a new name. I'm gonna call you Trigger Tommy. Or
I
Tommy.
was thinking more like a hemorrhoid, but
Have you guys ever got hemorrhoids?
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't, so I don't really know.
Oh yeah.
But I was
I do.
just
Fuck.
thinking
Oh yeah.
hemorrhoid and Tommy go together.
I only got hemorrhoids once, and it was when we were doing this solar job where we had to take a pallet of bricks up onto a roof. And to be cool with my two friends that were in the job with me, I was like, guys, I'll just do the bricks. You guys stay up on the roof, and I'll just haul the bricks up all day. And yeah, that was my hemorrhoid experience. That's how I
Yeah,
activated.
I had a hemorrhoid experience too. I was like 18 and I was working in this big stall where they put horses in, and we were repainting that place, and there was a washroom there, and I had to go for a shit, but the washroom wasn't heated, so it was like -20, and so I had to sit down on that toilet bowl, and lo and behold, a few like in the evening, I started feeling weird in that area, and then there popped out a thing, and I was like, what the
Was it
fuck's
from
going on,
sitting
right?
on the cold surface?
I don't know, I guess it was, or it was maybe because I forced too much or something. I really had a sore
Could be the
stomach that day.
force, but I think I heard something about long sits on cold surfaces can do something to your ass.
Yeah, something like that. That's my experience. So maybe. So that was that's my hemorrhoid story. Anybody have a hemorrhoid story they want to talk about, like, since we're in the
Hemorrhoids are like
subject right
your
now?
natural anal beads.
Maybe we should just go to the skid mark video. I don't know.
Oh, you're still here.
All
You're
right.
still here. Yeah,
Okay,
let's go to the skid mark
hold on a
video.
sec. I have
Yeah.
that here. Let me bring that up.
And the next video after that is how he treats the African American crowd.
If
So
this is
I
where
think
we're
that
at,
one's
if we're at
justified
the
as well.
hemorrhoid conversation, we might
You
as well
actually,
just go.
so you actually wanted to push me away and start talking about these kind of things. Cool.
No,
Right,
we
so
didn't want to
I'm
push
gonna
you
bring.
away at all, Void.
Yeah,
We were
and you
trying to
seem
push
like
Tommy
super
away.
Mr.
No,
Offended,
no.
Voynich. I don't know what you know. Your gay crusade wasn't any more interesting, sir.
Towards that.
Guys,
The
if you talk
OTW,
over each
I
other,
didn't
you
derail this.
take over
I
and you
didn't
start
derail
talking
this
about
OTW.
hemorrhoids
One at
and
a time,
everything.
ladies.
Dude, it's fucking funny, dude. It's very peculiar too.
Void,
it's
we
very
weren't trying to
specific.
make you leave.
Are you
It was a
trying to
joke.
equate? Are
It's
you
very
trying to equate
typifying
a
on
medical
your own.
All right.
All right, you
I'm gonna
pick the
have to.
subject then, Voynich. If you got something so much better, that'd be great. Go ahead. I would love to hear something more interesting.
Well, then
there
don't put
obviously
Voynich
has to
in
be
charge
something
of it.
more interesting than hemorrhoids. That's for sure.
Right. Right.
All right, so let's get back to that video. I'm gonna bring up the share screen, but I'm not sure which one it's called: the impromptu stream or the capitalism. Which one is it, Moose?
The skid mark one is the impromptu one, I think, and then
Okay, that's the one I'm gonna share first. Then
okay.
impromptu. All right, so let's see what this is all about, guys. I have no idea, and it's gonna be a first for me. So I'm gonna play this. I'm pretty
I
sure we're
hope
gonna
my
get a good laugh
dog
out of this.
farts again while he's sitting beside me. Jesus. That's disgusting, Camacho.
All right, let's just go. So there's no sound? Is there any sound?
What's going on?
I don't know. Usually I have sound. It's like, why is this? Oh, it's like fucking like 8 hours long. How come I didn't get the right I guess so. Oh shit. Hold on a second, guys. I fucked up. This kind of thing happens when you're doing live broadcast. You fuck up and then you lose people watching. It's like, oh, this guy's no pro. Fuck. Okay, hold on a sec. I'm gonna.
No, don't even
figure
worry
this
about them. You're
You
about to
didn't
get
have
like
that.
500
Don't worry
more
about it.
people in here once you get the skid mark in there.
out. Dude.
So apparently, and I think, is this Voynich? Is that you in the chat, sir? So he says he wants to talk about infiltration. What do you got to say about that? And then he says, it's not only gay people that infiltrate, or is it? You want to elaborate on that?
Is it? I think it is.
Infiltrating what?
I don't need too much elaboration on it. I think that's a very clear statement.
But what has been infiltrated, and by what gay people are you talking about?
About you gay people.
Oh, me. I'm a gay person.
You come across as a gay person.
Skid mark? They called you skid mark?
Okay.
Voynich, whenever you picture yourself in this group, how do you see yourself?
Dude,
right,
I can come across as any kind of person, but I'm just me.
I don't know. Mention that.
This guy just actually
nickname for.
Dude, this guy actually makes
you
points.
Think so? You
Voynich, please, we're watching a clip here.
This dude actually makes
a gay agenda to infiltrate OTW right now.
Like totally gay.
I tell you, the fucking alphabet crew these days, man.
Together with his gay friend and his associate.
I don't know why I mentioned that. I had that.
Do not interrupt Jack Talcott when he's recording, Voynich, or live.
You had a nickname, Skid. They called you skid mark?
A young kid.
They love this. They love this. Can't you hear it? They're enjoying this. They're enjoying this beyond belief.
Jack Talcott.
I told you. I told you
The
so.
truth gets big, man.
We had a guy.
When I tell you guys, I told you so. They're fucking.
I don't know why I mentioned that. I had that
When did the
skip
gay
that
mafia first come
nickname
after you?
for about a year.
You had a nickname, Skid mark? They called you skid mark?
A young kid.
Get out of here. Why they call, why they call,
Backstage with Jack Talcott.
The truth gets bared, man. I've got stories.
You gotta keep it
I don't
going.
know why I
Gotta keep it
mentioned
going.
that. I had that nickname for about a year.
a nickname, Skid mark? They called you skid mark? You had a nickname, Skid mark? They called you skid mark? You had a nickname, Skid
Let it
mark?
go all the
They
way to
called
the
you
end.
skid mark?
OTW.
You had a nickname, Skid mark? They called you skid mark?
His dick smell like shit because he wiped the wrong way. We had a guy.
Hey guys,
We had a guy nicknamed Flash.
Get me into the hip crowd. Are these all gay jokes that you're making?
No hip crowd will ever let you in, Boy.
Hey, dude, are these all gay jokes? Because I don't get it. What's
we had a guy. We had a guy nicknamed Flash.
What's the skid mark joke?
It's a lazy joke because Jack won't actually take action. Listen, if you want the answer.
Hey, do we really need to explain the joke to you?
See,
It's like
too
fucking
dumb.
Family Man. You guys are Family Man, Family Guy, right? You guys are like Family Guy and The Simpsons. You're trying to push this gay kind of jokes. Like everybody should know what a skid mark is. Dude, I don't know what a skid mark is.
It's a lazy joke. If you understand Jack Talcott, you would understand how it's a lazy joke and not a gay joke.
Mentioning it, I might give you one.
See, OTW, whatever you were telling me to do, I don't feel it's whatever this is that's happening.
Well, I feel it.
Sorry, I can't hear you guys because you keep talking over each other, so I don't know what the fuck you guys are saying. And the audience also has no idea what you guys are talking about. So at least have respect for the audience and speak one at a time. All right?
If you mean the chat,
that doesn't even...
no
Shut the fuck up!
Ooh, how Talcottian.
No, man, I'm not Jack Talcott, dude.
Whenever you yell, shut the fuck up, that's like a Talcott thing.
What are you, fucking deaf?
Have you ever heard Paul's clip of him going, shut the fuck up?
Dude, I don't give a fuck about that clip. And yes, I've seen it. But I just want you guys to fucking understand it. If you guys all speak at the same time, all right, and you think shut the fuck up, Tommy. Nobody is respecting the audience. People want to hear what you guys have to say. If you speak at the same time, you are not respecting the people that are watching. So fucking man up and be responsible and fucking try to have a nice broadcast.
I have openly disrespected the chat from my very first panel appearance.
Dude, it's not the point. The point is fucking. It's not even the chat. You dumbass. There are people that are watching that are not in the chat.
Oh, they're obviously unemployed then. Probably not doing much for society. Or just off work sick for the day, maybe.
Right. So we Voynich left, and who else left? Let me see. We got Yurt still here, and Moose. All right. So we lost.
Well,
Who left?
of course.
I
So,
wouldn't say
Oh,
we're
Voynich
missing
left, and
Voynich.
but who else left? Somebody else left. I didn't realize who else was there.
so
So I'm
Cage.
gonna try this again. I'm gonna see if Moose or Yurt can pick up off this. So
Yeah,
we
so-
had a guy in school whose nickname was Flash. And you guys should be like, why? Because
All right,
he
somebody's
named
making a
that?
meme with my shut the fuck up thing. That's cool. I heard you, Moose. I know it's you. It has to be you. That's good. I like that. See, more publicity for me.
I just like it because now if somebody's like over talking me, I'm gonna play it.
Oh, very clever, Moose.
Well,
Okay,
what
so
I
I
was
think
gonna-
I think
what
Yurt
I was
gets where I
gonna-
was going. And it's worth it if we do this, Yurt, so I'm gonna do it one more time. We had a guy in high school whose nickname was Flash.
That was Cage that left.
Why was he called Flash? Is that what you're wanting? Who's Flash? What is the?
And then you can be like, why? Because he ran fast? No, it's because that's the name of the dog he got caught fucking.
See, and this is what I was gonna say. See, this is what happens when someone like that Voynich character targets someone like Tommy. Then Tommy sort of goes on this sort of thing. He sort of plays the part, and then you get
No,
what
I'm
you
being
ask
dead
for with
serious.
jokes like that.
No, there was a guy in my high school nicknamed Flash because he was caught fucking a dog of the same name.
And
It's a
but
sick,
really,
sad
OTW,
world out
so
there.
you've got Voynich on here who has some agenda that he's just beating a drum to, saying all sorts of crazy shit. And then
Yeah,
when
we rid
people
ourselves
try
of
to-
him. It's
And then
better
when
now.
people try to change the subject to something else, he started up fighting again. He obviously has some past beef that he was bringing to the table today. And then when that's confronted, then he runs off. Right? This guy just
Yeah, he's
you had a
European.
guy on here.
Well, you see. Oh wait. You're see. Voynich is that's his thing. I mean, he does what he does.
That's
You know, I can't be held responsible for what he says or does, you know, and what
Of
he
course.
believes in. So he's allowed to express his opinions, and it's
Of course.
this platform is actually a free speech platform. So I let people
I
speak,
love
and the only time I really mute them is because there's like this horrible background noise or you know, something that's disrupting the broadcast. But besides that, I usually let people say what they I let them speak their mind, and if it's in contradictory with what other people believe, then that's what the people have to deal with. It's their issue. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I'm broadcasting, giving people voices and letting them express their opinions, and I also express my opinion when time is of the essence, and it's required for me to interject and give that opinion. So that being said, your thoughts?
I
Yeah,
agree
and-
that you give people voices, but I disagree that you give them viewers. I yield.
Well, yeah, and what I was just going to say is it's hard for it not to descend into a fight when people are taking that stance. Like if you come in aggressive, then we're all going to be fighting, and that's fine. I'm not scared of the fight, but I'm just saying that's what you're going to end up getting. And Voynich was
understand that.
clearly he was
But
spoiling for a fight.
You guys
so
can
I'll
all
give
be
him.
angry. Sorry, Yard, I
Yeah.
don't want to interrupt, but you guys
No,
can
you're
all
fine.
be angry, but you could also respect the audience. Keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. That's the only thing. That was the thing I was trying to point out before we. And you know, Illumitami is like fucking rudely interrupting me while I'm trying to point something out. So everybody gets a great broadcast experience and enjoys the show, even though there's arguments being done. If you guys talk over each other, obviously neither one of you hear what the other one's saying. So there's absolutely no point in talking over each other. So if you guys have enough willpower to keep your ego in check while somebody else is fucking insulting you, and then you'll have the opportunity to insult them in return if that's the issue and if that's what needs to be done. All right.
I like that, dude. I like that about your platform.
I
and I
think
respect
like
I
that.
think there's been some mistake in the past of talking over whenever I'm doing like a clip, like an add in. Like I'm not stopping you from talking, but you just drop in the support hype comment. It's not really supposed to break their point they're rolling on. It's just like the added clarifications and things. But you're also talking to the inventor and founder of the rage stay. Like you see people rage quit, I'll rage stay.
Well, yeah, and
Hey,
OTW, I thought I was doing pretty good just listening and just hanging out, and it just sort of went on, and then when we did try to say something, the agenda just moved over to us, to you know, and the man is still in the chat, you know, and he's insulting me. It's not even an insult to call me gay, but he's trying to be insulting about it, and then it becomes this thing where I'm not looking for the fight either. But what are you supposed to do? How much should be endured? How much, ego control has to be displayed before you just sort of start lashing out? And
and let
then,
me
and
add
then,
another context to that. You're half the problem with these streets drama is you can never punch each other in the face or have that defining end to it. It's just
exactly.
like purgatory feuds, just endless purgatory feuds.
Yes, and I've seen the examples of those feuds, like when it was the stream with Ian, where Zetetic Warrior was hashing it out for 4 hours in a row with fucking Sovereign Citizen, and they wouldn't let go of it, and there was obviously no resolution to be had. And there was also another stream where it was Paul and Sovereign Soul couldn't get through their thing, and then when who was the next person that showed up after that, and it was going to be like the same fucking story all over again, but not with Sovereign Soul, but somebody else with Zetetic, and I can't remember who it was, but anyway. So it's like I've seen this issue where they just want to go at each other's throats, and they don't really want to come to any real resolution, right? They don't want to admit to their faults. They don't want to fucking or even go halfway and fucking keeping their ego in check and trying to fucking find ways to build bridges instead of burning them down. But sometimes burning them down needs to be done. So that being said, your thoughts, guys?
Is Voynich a man that can be reasoned with? Is that I don't
yes,
know him.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't have an issue with him, but he appears to have some sort of issue predetermination with me. So he is a man that can be reasoned with.
Well, look, all right. Let me Tommy, hold on a sec. Look, I'll give this as an example, right? Okay, there's people that believe in Jesus Christ, and there's people that don't. All right, so I would be in the group that don't believe in Jesus Christ. Okay, so obviously there would be a contradictory between people that believe in him and don't believe in him, and the whole thing, right? So, I mean, everybody's entitled to their thing. So I will not and the reason I'm using this example is because I had this issue with my friend Jason, where he had, he was a firm believer in Christianity and went to church with his wife and everything. And I'm the completely opposite of that, right? I don't believe in the church. I don't believe in the Jesus Christ narrative that they push. And it's like, no, I'm not there. But we were able to put our differences aside and be friends anyway. So that means that we would just not bring that subject up. Okay, because we value more our friendship than our disagreements, right? So this is where I'm thinking is like, well, eventually, when you get to know somebody, okay, maybe you don't agree with everything that they believe in, but that doesn't mean that you can't be friends. It doesn't mean that you can't have a conversation about another subject that you both resonate with. You understand? Like, just because you guys, like one guy approves the gay movement, one guy doesn't approve the gay movement. Well, fucking talk about flat earth, guys. You know what I'm saying? That this is the whole thing. Don't talk about that. If you guys won't come to a resolution and won't, this is a never ending fucking story, then fucking change subjects, because you guys ain't gonna get nowhere.
And that's one thing I noticed whenever I first came over to you, Andy, and stream. I started using Discworlders as an endearing term of my friends that are flat earthers in my quest to say, hey, it doesn't have to be beef. We can just talk about it or agree to disagree. And that I feel like that made the shape debate hostility come for me more. Like whenever I was on Z or something, it's like they wanted that. They were like, hey, Tommy, shape debate time. And I'm like, oh, that's the thing I said I wanted to come up and not talk about. And they just hold it to shape debate. And it's like every time I give someone, whether it's in these streets or in real life, it seems like every time these days that I give someone credit as like doing good for me or being a good friend, it's like that activates their like turnaround to go and do something shitty to me. And I don't mean it like narcissist, oh, me. I just mean like whenever I say, hey, man, you're always there for me. You've been a really good friend. It's like now they will fail at that because I mentioned the Matrix base and now they will bump the base over.
Well, everybody believes and perceives reality in their own way. So who are we to judge what other people's beliefs are and what should they or should not believe in? We all have our own perspectives on what the fuck's going on in this place. So, I mean, you know, there's like, you can fucking debate oranges and apples, but they'll always stay oranges and apples. You know, the one will not become the other. And it's just always going to be opposing fruits or whatever, opposing points of views, opposing perspectives. So you have to, like, I'm not saying you have to stay neutral, but you're allowed to have your opinions and feelers towards whatever subject you're talking about. But you can also, you know, keep in mind that, you know, not everybody's going to get along, and you're not always going to agree with what everybody says, right? So, I mean,
right. I'm
and
American.
we could also give each other enough respect to let each other speak too. That's pretty easy.
Yeah,
and this is the thing.
Hard.
Like, this is what I pull from the Sovs. It's like, guys, don't forget, if there's no
except
theft,
Tommy, we don't have any more time. We're wrapping it up, so we're gonna have to ask you.
Hey, what do you say about respecting and letting people talk, Moose? Okay, if we're not thefting or violencing each other, like, we really shouldn't be unhinged. Like yesterday on Jack, I was like, Jack, why are you so mad that we're saying words to each other? And he was like losing his shit just because we're conveying the conversation further. Like, is anything thefted? Is anything violenced? Well, let's relax. Let's get out of our imaginations, man.
Okay, brother. Much love, man.
Hey, man, can we get back to me for a second? I'd like to pipe in here.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Interrupt.
That's the biggest thing, man. It, like, all disagreements aside, it's just that every day he resets his memory that drives me nuts. It's like,
haven't you seen 50 First Dates?
Haven't you seen Memento?
No, I haven't seen Memento, actually.
Oh my God, that's an excellent movie. Everyone's got to see Memento if you haven't seen Memento. Dude loses his memory every 15 minutes and he's trying to find his wife's killer. It's a great movie.
I would rather suggest Everything Everywhere All at Once. That is a fucking
Christos with the in-out. Was that Christos with the pop-in?
Yeah, that was a pop-in, pop-out one. That was a quickie.
Have you guys ever
that's why his girlfriend's never happy.
Oh, that's what I was
going to say.
Fucking
good. That was quick, Moose. I like how fucking intuitive you are and how quick you are on the.
Whenever I used to drink too much that I couldn't perform for my old lady at the time, I would just say, "Hey, why don't you go to the bedroom and raise the vibration?" And I'll just sit here drunk and watch TV or something. Get it? Raise the vibration, guys. Get it?
Yeah, see, that wasn't funny. What I said was funny. You kind of just overshadowed that with.
Funny because I didn't have to be bothered with her.
So, like, I'm like a candle that was burning bright, and you're like the cap that came and, like, you know, put out the flame.
No, I have never seen you as the bright burning light in the darkness, Moose. But you are.
No, it was a metaphor, dude, for how funny his joke was. And, you know, you just came and
I like analogies.
You spit on your two fingers and you just came and turned out the flame.
Well, you change which two fingers and I'm slicking up my eyebrows with one hand.
It's funny how you just spew things out of your mouth. It's like the words aren't even thought of. They're just like, they just come out without having them being thought. Like, it's just crazy, man. It just drives me crazy how you make a bunch of word salad. in your mind, and then you spew it out and call that language and, and communication.
Actually,
It's called
people would
Tourette's, man.
if people would just focus on what I say, it makes perfect sense.
Either he has Tourette's or he's partially retarded. I can't figure out.
It all depends on the perspective there, Illumitami.
Yo, Christos.
Well, not to drag it right back to the drama bonding, but I just can't get away from it. You know, I find the phenomenon of people like Voynich just so fascinating. So he takes this hardline approach on here, talking all this shit. Then he starts getting a little bit of pushback, and so then he runs away, and now he's in the chat, and now he's claiming that I would never come on his panel and engage him in whatever conversation he thinks I don't want to have. Meanwhile, I run an open panel all the time. I'm on this panel. I go on to any panel that'll have me, essentially. Voynich, I'll talk to you right now, later, tomorrow, next week. It really doesn't matter, but you're the one who ran away today. And the
Yeah,
Yeah,
boy,
you're
again,
kind of acting
come back
feminine
up
right
here.
now.
Boy, click the link and come back up here, and I'll put you up with Yurt
and
one-on-one.
I'll listen the whole time.
You
I'm
know,
a great
you're
listener.
I want
Hey,
Yurt, I
Christos,
never
are you gonna
want
last a little longer this time?
Okay, maybe it's not
Yurt, I
important what I
never like
want.
traveled abroad or went overseas or anything, but Voynich gives me these vibes like he's always at the hostel. Like he's just always at the hostel over somebody's shoulder, having a chocolate cigarette, maybe have a bowl of cream and a chocolate cigarette, maybe go to work for 1/2 hour, 2/2 hour.
And you see,
Tommy,
first
do
it
you ever
was
listen to yourself?
Yeah, you don't. He does. Clearly, he doesn't listen to himself. You should record yourself and listen to your shit, man. It's
I mean, like a panel. I should rewatch a panel.
yeah, and listen to all the fucking dumb nonsense that comes out of your mouth.
That's relative to the ears.
No. Listen to this. Not. I didn't even want to say your name. God damn it. Voynich, fucking click the link and come back up here, dude. I want this. I want this to happen here now.
You
If
guys
you
are
would
never going
please.
to get me down with Voynich types roaming around. It's
Yeah.
like if you can't see that Voynich is a much
Dude,
worse
it
problem
has
than me.
nothing to do with you, man. Please stop making it about you, because
It's
obviously
Yeah,
I know
all
that's what you
about
want.
the me.
All right, folks,
And I'm
this
not
is just an
saying
example of why you shouldn't do a little bit of meth in the morning. Maybe, Tommy, you
Oh,
should save it
very
for the evening
original.
show.
Very original. I don't hear meth in
Tommy can
every
be
chat I go in.
Tommy can be content gold if it doesn't become a combative, 3 or 4 people just insulting Tom,
I
then
agree.
him feeling the need to sort of do his thing. If you just let the
And I
conversation
do
go,
do
it
that,
seems to
don't I?
go.
I do
Yeah.
feel the need to stand up for myself, don't I?
You don't have to. That's the
No, I
thing. We're
think you
waiting
just
for
enjoy it. I
Voynich to
don't think
come
you're
up.
the victim either, Tom. Tom, I'm not saying you're the victim.
I
I'm
know,
just
and
saying
I know.
that the
I'm
way
telling
things
Moose that
go.
you also don't want to sit there and be a kicking bag like Jack.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna sit and laugh along with the shit they're kicking him in the teeth with, you know?
Yeah.
Well, basically, I'm just saying, think about what you're saying and kick back in
I
the
always
chat for
do,
a
Moose.
second. No, you
I
don't.
always
You
do.
you sit there and talk for hours on end, and a lot of it has nothing, no substance, nothing. I
Okay,
do it all the
cite
time,
it.
Tommy. I resonate with
Cite
you.
it.
There
Drop
you
the
go.
clip. Drop the timestamp.
There
Because
you
you
go.
know what? That's all we can do, Moose. That's all we can
Look,
do
if
on
I
these
can
things.
handle 2 of me, I would clone myself, but I can't, dude. I can't stand having 2 of me. That's why
If there
there's
was
only
2 of
one.
me, I'd get blowjobs every day.
That's disgusting. Fuck off, Tommy.
Oh my god, I'm
But
clipping it.
dude,
Why is it disgusting? It's masturbation, isn't it?
Dude, I know. I don't know. It's just like, dude, fuck off. Just fuck off.
So Christos, the anime crossover line, like, how did you come up with that? Give me some backstory to that. I love it.
It's a meme. Well, it's basically like what people will put as like a meme comment. You got the little sayings that people
Right.
will throw under videos, and like a lot of the times it won't even make sense or necessarily relate. And it's that absurdity element to the memes that are coming out nowadays. So that's basically just like uh, sometimes it'll be the pictures, or sometimes it'll just be like a video of like not two animals, something goofy. It has to be inherently
I
goofy
feel
if
like
we're
we
gonna
could
say
define that though.
anime
When you say anime
crossovers.
crossover, yeah, because we have strong characters and personalities in these streets, like anime characters, and they run into each other in some situations like an anime crossover. You know, I love it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it comes from basically the meme comes from the videos that are out there that are like top 10, top 5
Right.
anime, blah blah blah. It just
Yeah, you were just the
applying it to
first time
things.
I ever
Yeah,
saw it.
really.
Like you used it the first for my viewing.
Well, I'm glad I could share that with you. I don't know how versed you are in memery, but I figured you're on here enough that I thought
I'm
you
pretty
would get
meme
it
adjacent,
actually.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I
Well,
just
I'm
never heard
glad.
that one. I thought
Yeah,
maybe you
yeah.
made it up.
No, no. I guess I made it up in the sense of I'm applying it to like these YouTube open panels. And I don't think I've heard anyone use that kind of funny meme comment for these interactions on here. But sometimes, like when it's Paul going on someone's panel or with Jack, just it's already absurd. So I'm just gonna add to the absurdity because I got a lot of humor out of it to begin with. So let me play
Yeah, I
into
think
it.
they're making each other
Harmless.
lazy. It's like it's too easy for Jack and Paul to just use each other for content, and that blocks them from finding fresh content.
Are you the one that said? Are you the one that said something about content corpse climbing or something? No, that was Provo Kid.
Yeah, Provo does all those content analogies, yeah.
Oh man, let me tell you, these past couple days, guys, when it comes to like Jack and Paul specifically, or I guess just Jack, Jack's been going live. I think almost like every evening it seems like, and my God, like endless supply. Some of the
That's
things
Jack
that get
Cope.
said are just like very worthy of clipping and saving.
Today I turned him off whenever he said, I got to have grapes. And I was like, all right, moving on.
when he was talking about splurging, and then he was talking about I ate a whole pear or something and grapes, or like I didn't. He said I stopped myself from eating the pears before they are getting ripe. He had self control. I'm like,
And
you
who
don't even
makes
want to try to
pears
eat
their
them when they're
primary?
that hard.
I would never make my main fruit pears. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not a
I love
main fruit.
pears.
I mean, I
Yeah,
like
I
them,
thought
but I'd rather have like an
pear.
orange.
Who
I'd take
gives
an
a
orange
shit
over a
what
pear any day.
your main fruit is?
Well, and that's what I was trying to communicate to that dude, that it's not like the potty humor of the skid mark joke, which is super funny in itself. Of course, that's funny, but it's that Talcott. It's the case study of the person of Talcott that is so interesting. His dynamic, right? His willingness to be strong while he's being vulnerable. His lack of self-reflection, the way just the endless things that he says and the way he says them. It's an interesting thing. And it's the same
Hey,
shit,
what are
you
you
know.
I get
doing? Are you in
blowjobs
your like
every
ice tray?
day.
That's
Yeah.
Dude,
disgusting.
my bad. I thought
Fuck
I
off.
muted. I thought I muted. You could have gone ahead and muted me
Well,
with
not
that.
with all that
I
ice
thought
tray
I
going
muted
on, you
though.
couldn't go ahead. But I
you
get
see
blowjobs every day.
That's
you
disgusting.
see-
Fuck off, Tommy.
Oh, you were looking for that clip?
I thought that was happening again. I didn't realize we were rewatching.
Because if you've ever been on a stream where I've referenced my
That's disgusting. Fuck off, Tommy.
I get blowjobs every day.
That's
Did the Matrix
disgusting.
just
Fuck
repeat?
off, Tommy.
I'd get blowjobs every day. I'd get blowjobs tell us something we don't know. Get blowjobs every day.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
So
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Fuck off.
I remember my first speaking spell. So do you see this dichotomy though, where if Jack goes to Paul's panel, he'll joyously laugh along with his insults, but then on Jack's panel, he's just quick to backstage everyone and put the band hammer down when he needs to. But then when he's over there, he just lightens up, just laughs like he's George McFly getting biffed around by the crew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's
exactly.
fascinating. Go ahead.
I don't
Hey,
I don't backstage
you
people.
get your damn hands off her.
No, go ahead. I wasn't saying anything else.
Oh well, and I'm just getting distracted by Voynich here in the chat. I'm kind of I'm
Hey,
being
ignore the chat.
bifurcated or whatever. But
You have your own
our
panel. You know the rule of ignore the chat when there's Voyniches
I
in there.
know. That is such good advice, and I really should do that just to have the actual good conversation. But the phenomenon of people like Voynich, it's just like Talcott. It intrigues me. I can't look away. I want to deal with this creature and figure out why he's like this and what the issue is here.
It's because he's European.
It's a me issue. I know it is, but I just get
thought
wrapped up
experiment.
in it. Exactly.
It's a thought experiment. There we go. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a perfect subject for your experiment. What the
Yes.
fuck?
And
I keep forgetting to mute. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and you can just mute me when you start hearing ruffling.
No, that's your responsibility.
Just
fuck.
If it's a big deal, if it's such a big deal, and I genuinely don't realize I'm doing it, you can do everyone a favor and shut it off.
Because I have my coffee cup in my hand, man. I can't fucking. I don't have 3 arms.
Okay,
man.
punk.
Yeah, we're all gonna be at each other's throats by June, man. I'm telling you, dude. This summer's gonna get brutal. But yeah, we got.
We're
Voynich.
already at each other's throats.
Especially if I
summer's
keep
gonna get
training, I'm gonna
brutal
be a
once-
beast by this summer, man.
Once people start shitting the bed and start leaving the rooms all fucked up, I'm gonna be coming online like raising hell with you guys.
I had a feeling that I ended
Actually,
up
I'm just
missing when
kidding.
things
The
went
summer's
down.
gonna be great. I'm not gonna manifest any bad. My summer's gonna be amazing.
I like that. Me too. It's fun. It's all fun to me. So
Who went at it? Voynich and who? Lumitami? Or
No, it was Voynich
No, he
and
was just
Yurt.
coming at everybody.
Well,
Look,
I know
Tommy,
Voynich-
if you were to go against
it was
Voynich,
mostly
it'd be
Tom,
like
and then I just got
Voynich
tired
going
of it.
against a little boy.
No, Voynich wasn't after me. I know that.
Moose,
Voynich
name a
loves me.
time I've
I
been.
love
like-
Voynich too. I think he's an awesome YouTuber.
I think he was reaching a little hard on the sexuality play, but I could debate him.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Is he doesn't even get that? Like it's his heavy-handedness which is making an enemy out of me. Right? I'm down for the general point he was trying to make, but you go so far, you actually end up looking stupid. Right? The idea that all gay people are pedos is a disgusting slander. And so it's not cool.
Right.
And then I have RT here in the chat who's trying to point out that I'm a married man with a family and all this. And I sort of die inside when RT does that, because I'm like, that's not going to matter to him. Right? He's just going to use that as another talking point for whatever gay paranoia he has going on in his mind, body, and soul, which is very obvious and weird once you really think about it for a second.
So he's probably the gay European that's trying to wall that off.
But you have to keep in mind that what he was pointing out is that the translation in his language and the meaning are different. You understand?
He's Rusky? He's Roski?
Of course, I understood that point, but his point of saying that was to make this other point, which I don't agree with.
Right,
Shouldn't
I get it.
he be in a war right now? Like, they were grabbing everybody that was that nationality.
Shouldn't you be sucking dick right now?
If the price is right.
Sorry, Tommy. I have this thing where I have this thing, man. I do have my own issues.
I have this thing too, where if it gets me 50 miles down the road, yeah, I'll suck a dick.
Oh, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that if if it was the fucking last fucking thing that would. No. If it would save my life, I wouldn't do it. I'd die. I'd kill myself.
Okay,
No.
I was making a joke about getting 50 miles, but you wouldn't suck a dick to save your life. That's
No,
a
sir.
little.
No, sir, man. No fucking
Okay,
way.
so you could have just lived like 50 more years, but because you had to suck one dick for one instance in your life, You're going to give up 50 more years?
Yes,
I
sir.
think that's
Fuck that. I'll go. Better luck next life.
what if sucking a dick turns out to be your long lost hobby? You didn't realize how empowering it
Kind
was.
of question. It's so childish.
I don't know. I'm like a complete heterosexual, guys. I think women
Super
are
straight.
very, very attractive, beautiful, and that's my thing. And I have nothing against people and their sexual orientations. But it's like I do have something against like I don't know, like pushing that on children and shit like that, and making them like
I agree.
fucking question their fucking gender and shit like this. And I do have
And then get
issues
them to
with
chop their bodies up. Yeah, fucked up.
having fucking trans fucking going fucking giving kindergarten classes and reading books and stuff like that. Man, I have issues with that kind of thing, because I think it's kind of like pushing fucking adult stuff onto fucking children and trying to fucking program them into something that they, it's like, it's just not right, man.
Yeah,
It's
because
For sure.
whenever
I mean,
the world was
innocence should be respected, man. And these children are innocent. We should try to keep them as innocent as possible till they reach a certain cognitive
Where they can make the choice, right?
exactly
That
with their own fucking cognitive decisions, and through research and fucking self-development, and not through some fucking stupid fucking agenda, which I find
so the
completely
other problem
appalling.
is, besides the alphabet people that are pushing that, you have good parents that don't realize they're cucking. Like, they don't want to feel like an asshole in the woke world, so they'll cuck to it and not protect their children properly.
Yeah, those people are so far gone and disconnected from their human nature through the social propaganda and culture and all that. It's really quite disgusting.
Like I was
Yeah,
mentioning,
that exists. Go ahead.
yeah, I was mentioning before, in the governmental establishments around here, they are now not saying Mr. and Mrs. anymore. They're because of this gender identification bullshit.
And here's my thing I was leading to with the education beeline situation. No one can just be black for a day, then not be black the next day. But if I see something happen where people are getting jobs in children's education, I can just throw a dress on and say, yeah, I'm trans. I'm a nice lady. I want to work with kids. And I could be a creep, It's not
Yeah,
like
but that's to me, that's mind fucking the children, man.
It is. I'm saying it's bad. Okay.
I mean, the children's are, like, how do they identify a man afterwards? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
this
there's a difference. There's a difference between like Blair White and people where if Blair White goes in a ladies' room, no one's gonna question it or think anything's out of the ordinary. And then you have like truckers that wear ladies' clothes while they're trucking for miles, and they'll
Come
get out at a
on.
rest stop.
Think about it. The kid always gonna ask their mommy or daddy, holding their hands, like, "Why is that man wearing a dress, mommy?"
Well,
what the fuck do you expect a parent to say to their kid? What do you like? The guy is, you see, he has a beard, fuck, and he's wearing
If
a
he
dress.
has a beard and a dress, that might be a kilt.
Well, like how it grows back real quick there. That
Well,
duvet thing there.
I saw something was up whenever the movement was people like decking themselves out as a female, but still just growing the full beard. It's like, come on, guys, just pick one. Like, don't do this fence sitting gender style thing.
And I'm just, this is an honest question. Have we seen more outrage about the alphabet stuff and children? Has there been more outrage about that, or more outrage about the childhood obesity rate? Has there been more outrage about the gay child weirdo stuff, or more outrage about school shootings? Which one gets more outrage and energy and all this paranoia? We have all these problems going on, and we're going on gay witch hunts on a fucking panel because someone's saying provocative things. It's really an insane conversation at some point. It really is.
But
and the fact that people have so much energy about it just fascinates me. We have all these issues, but it's drag queen story time, which I would never take my children to, which I don't personally like. But when you start talking about what we're actually going to do about that, right, then it becomes a much more complicated conversation. So now all these people that were anti-government and the government's coming to kill us all, now you want to use the state to prevent people from doing that sort of thing, or what? So there's all these issues that are actually killing people, actual children dying, and all this, and our moral outrage is about the alphabet community. That makes a lot of sense.
Two of the most recent public bang bangs have been alleged alphabet community, like this private school and the Club Q were both some kind of pronoun person. So it's like neither here nor there. But when you say use the government to stop it, I more see it as don't let the government give the safe passage. Because we were already a society that just kept it stopped, like there's still people that will stand up against like drag shows for kids and all that. But now it's like it's the government that's green lighting it.
I understand. I understand all that, but I'm just saying, what do we do? What would people want done about that issue?
I'd say in your
comparison to all these
case,
other
just
issues,
be the best
that's
dad
what
to
I'm
your
asking.
kids. Like, just make sure you've got your family covered and do the best you can with that.
Exactly.
And if you see where you can assist in an outer situation, by all means. But as far as personal responsibility and honor able, I'd say just do your family as best you can.
Right. And so therefore the people up here outraged on this issue are actually just doing some like moral pontificating. So some moral outrage police because of some personal trauma that they had. That's clearly what's going on, right? Is their own personal traumas are then being triggered and they're engaged in this outrage sort of cycle about it. That's what it seems to me.
Well, I only have outrage over the kids. Because if you're a very passable trans girl with a big dick, get my number, But as far as the children's education and shit, that's where I have an issue.
Not helping the poor.
It's helping me if they get my number.
No, I got you. It's helping you, but see, our points are getting sandwiched together, and I'm trying to show a little bit of the distinction.
Did you ever hear when I was the alien visit on Unslaved? Did you hear that point I made between
Tommy, are you obsessed with Paul? Is there something that you
am I not
telling us about
Am I
him?
not allowed to cite things I was involved in? Okay, sit down and shut up, Mr. Right-hand man that can't get back into his daddy. I'm just saying, when I was the alien, it's a commonly known event.
I mean, that alien bit, it was kind of crappy.
So sit down.
It was, I mean, it was terrible. Nobody liked it. Nobody cared
Even
for
Paul liked
it. And you bring it up again, and nobody cares
Jeffrey
still.
Phillips restreamed it. You're just mad because you can't get that kind of attention.
Now, see,
listen.
Now you're using Jeffrey Phillips.
Is that your
everybody's love for Jeffrey Phillips? Don't worry, my wife's taking care of it. You're taking that love for Jeffrey Phillips and you're using it to get people to love you, and that's not going to work.
That's not what I'm doing at all. You said that the alien bit was stale. I said another person even used it, but let me finish my point with
all right. Anyways,
the other adult.
Get Paul's balls out of your mouth.
Let the big boys talk for a second, Moose. So I had mentioned as the alien that both Asian women and trans.
I'm doing this on purpose, OTW, because sometimes Tommy doesn't shut up for like a fucking hour.
I know.
You guys want?
Well, we'd like for you maybe to stay silent for maybe 5 or 10 minutes so other people have a chance to say something.
I think it's flowing great right now. I think it's flowing great between Moose and Illumitami right now, back and forth.
And I think Moose is more of the derailment. I think we were all flowing pretty well. Thank you, Christo.
Well, maybe Moose has that issue.
Seeing your live
I got an idea.
Christo's been waiting on that.
Hey guys,
I mean,
do this.
Shit.
We've hijacked.
All right.
Hey, who's driving this panel, guys? Are you at the wheel?
It's me and you, Tommy. So come on, say what you got to say.
Who's driving, Moose? Do you know where this panel is headed if no one's at the wheel?
I'm at the wheel. We're talking about you getting Paul's balls out of your mouth and stop talking about him every fucking stream.
Moose, let's talk about that because I think you just walked into putting the foot in the mouth, because I've been working my ass off to like go to streams where I can avoid the sound of that cabbie voice raging. And you left, and you can't seem to stop trying to find a way back in.
It's the sound of Tommy.
What are you going to do when I'm not here for the focus, though, Moose? Because that's when everyone's still watching you. And
Tommy, there's always somebody here on the panel to focus on. If it's not you being the fucktard, it'll be somebody else. That's the thing with show
do you
business.
realize that a lot of the fucktardery and the accusations of me are more often to like deflect from the person calling me the things?
Well, actually, no, because we got to take it back to the time where you were talking about having sex with an underage girl, and you said her age more than one time, and it was all different each time.
Snafu logic. No, that's snafu logic. I know exactly how you guys got that fucked up, and I just let you roll with it.
So you're all right with people thinking that. That's just ridiculous.
Snafu thought that I changed the age from 17 to 16, but it was
Austin. Can you deal with this 47-year-old child,
stop
please?
cutting me off? I'm 43. I was 29 whenever I dated a 17-year-old girl legally.
The meth gave you 5 years, Tommy.
What?
Respectfully, you gained 5 years with the meth.
I put Yurt in as a ref.
I had never used meth at this time. That's why you can kick rocks, Moose. I'm tired of everybody taking their little gotcha details and fitting those into the timeline wherever they want. Like, if
what else am I supposed to do? Because you don't talk about anything else of substance. The only thing you ever give me is the meth thing.
No, that's all people carry.
Yurt was talking to Tommy. Hold on. He's the referee. What's up, Yurt?
Well, here's where I go with the subject. A lot of what Tommy is saying, I also, find reprehensible, a little cringe, whatever, right?
About the girl?
Well,
fucking creepy.
The girl, okay, the fluctuating numbers on the girl gets a little sus, Tommy. To keep it
I was in the middle of explaining that there is no fluctuating numbers. I was explaining the fallacy.
Okay, but here's
you can't explain that when you Freudian slip, dude.
No, it wasn't. See, you just have to shut up for a second, Nathan. Let me finish my point.
Let me get there just for a second here, right? So let's say Tommy came in, and wanted to join the Yurt compound, right? These issues would obviously prevent him from joining the Yurt compound. They also sort of prevent the nice cup of coffee at this time, Tommy. So don't give up complete hope on the cup of coffee. But here's
there's no hope for no desire, but you're carrying the wrong fallacy.
And you can correct me. I'm just explaining how I see it, and I'm trying to be trying to be objective, okay? And so Moose, what I would communicate to your side or all the people that want to hate on Tommy for all these things that may have occurred, may not have occurred, or whatever, we're ultimately having a conversation here with people. We're not policy enforcement officers. We're not the judge and executioner of other people's sins and all of that. We're having a conversation. I like people that have unique stories and unique perspectives and have the courage and the willingness to come up here and share them. So that's where I respect Tom from. I think if we can work with him, and I think he shows the willingness to work, then it can make a good conversation, which at the end of the day is sort of what we're here for. So that's my angle on Tom. That's my opinion on Tom. I think he can be very funny and interesting, and I also think he says some questionable things, but I'm not his judge, jury, and executioner out here on a YouTube panel. That's my
And I can clarify the whole situation with that too.
No, that's fine, Tom. Let's get
back. You just want to take your snafu
like he said, let's get on to a good talk.
Well,
no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm saying let's move on. You have good stuff to say too. Why don't we give these people some content?
Because I'm not going to leave this pedo thing hanging after you started it again.
I mean, see, that's the problem. You fall blank. Well, then just
You're breaking up, Moose.
I know, and Moose, all you ever had to do at this point was just shut the fuck up and let me have my turn to talk for a second. So it's really easy. The 16 thing was when I was telling Lauren to clarify what the law said. I wasn't restating the age of the girl.
I'm
I
not
was
the
like,
jury.
so,
I'm not the judge. I'm over here
but
smoking a
you are the
bowl.
interrupter. See, this is what I'm saying, Moose. You do the troll thing well, but you don't know how to balance it out with like doing the man interaction with other men. You're just always on troll mode. And you're trying to make a fool out of me when you keep telling Lauren that you really regret missing her interview, but you have yet to do the interview she has open for you. Same with Snap.
Oh yes, I just want to say something real quick, Illumitami, to the chat. All right, all the mods in the chat right now. Okay, your job is, just to fucking keep the fucking creeps out with the fucking porn and shit. Okay, that's the only job that I would like to assign to you people. This censoring and hiding comments and shit like that, I don't approve. All right, so I am an advocate of free speech, and please do not censor anybody in chat. I don't care what they say. If you don't agree with them, it's not my issue. I want you guys to make sure that we don't get porn bombed and get fucking people fucking shooting some porn addresses and what the fuck not or whatever, right? So this is the real issue. It's the reason I have mods, and that's the only reason I want you guys to fucking do this. So I think
I appreciate that, OTW, because I know of 3 panels, including yours, that I'm invisible on right now as far as chat.
All right, so sorry about that. I had to
You're
go take a little bong rip. So Tommy, you want to deflect, you want to misdirect, you want to do all that
You're
stuff.
playing. No, this is your daddy's games. You're playing. You're trying to set the narrative, and I'm just sitting here
I'm-
waiting to tell the correct story. Because see, Moose, on your panel, the thing
Well,
that
that's what I'm saying.
the
Just tell
thing
the
that
correct
hey,
story so we can move on, Tommy, and
well,
make it concise.
every time I do,
But you're not. You're
you keep
pulling a
running
Jack
your fucking
Talcott. You're
mouth.
doing.
No,
You're
you
doing a
see.
4-hour show in a 20-hour segment.
Why don't you just wait backstage and see how it goes, Moose?
All right, so just let that sink in, people. It's the moment of silence.
Just let it wash over. Good stuff. Okay, so it was actually a very boring story of a girl giving me a fake name, showing me that it would be legal. I didn't even know she was a high school girl for the first time she was coming in, interacting with me like a customer until I slowly pieced it together. And then the more I pushed back, the more she pursued me. And ultimately, like, I caved. We tried it out. It was just your typical relationship. She turned 18. There was no falling out. There was just a usual parting of ways. And I only came into this like Screets game with it, with a lot of the truths in my life, where in these Screets I will put the grab them by the pussy context on it to troll people up and get them all throwing things at an interview that I'm on with a show that wasn't really going to be as unslaved related. But I
Okay,
did
pause.
go on.
Pause real fast, please. Okay, so you intentionally say things to get a rise out of people. Is what you're saying.
As far as this unslaved game I've been in for 7 or 8 months, yes. I've been telling everyone. I've been telling that panel that to their faces for 7 months, dude.
Right, and so that I understand
You
that as
were
well.
there, and you
So you're
still.
basically saying this whole situation is just you talking out of your ass. Like it was a 17-year-old. It was legal, and we need to move on. So let's get on to a different story because we're losing folks in the crowd. People are getting bored.
Well, one thing I
Christos
wanted
is
to
walking
leave it
away.
on, though. My issue with that situation is my enemies didn't grab on to that story, and it was Yurt and Benton and all my friends in the chat that the next day everybody's stonewalling me, giving me the cold shoulder, and they wouldn't even say that was it at
Never
first. I'm
stone,
like,
dude. See, this is the thing that gets me tripped up, Tom. And when
He
I hear
actually
shit like
defended
that,
you.
it just starts
no, I know
driving me
Yurt
nuts.
defended me. I remember when he defended
Because
me.
I'm right, and I'm catching hella shit for defending you all the time. I've been catching shit for sort of defending you in quotation marks, by the way, because if you actually listen to what I'm saying, I'm not defending you at all. I'm merely holding an objective perspective that we're on a social media platform where I cannot, would not, will not go the lengths of verifying your claims or anything that you say on here, because we're just, mostly faceless, except for now, faceless people on a panel shooting the shit about whatever comes up. That's what I'm saying.
So
I don't
you're
know you
both
as a human being.
Right. Sorry, I
you're
take
both
that back. You
you're
weren't
right
defending
about
him. You were
it's like,
just
no,
saying
dude,
objectionally.
I'm the
So
one
you're
saying that you're good for the conversation. I'm the one saying
right,
that
right. Listen. You're
I'm
right.
not giving you a cold shoulder.
Listen, you're right about the panel shooting the shit thing, but also when you defended my legality and the probably not a big deal, you were right about that too. But I don't know where the line was after that, that it wasn't just you, Yurt, just everybody just gave me the blank. And I was like, guys, I was telling Lauren this has all been a game. You've watched me play a game, and that's what threw you all off. I was like, that's the one that got you all, was a little 10-year-old over embellished story about something that was actually really typical and boring.
No, I understand that, and I understand that it gets used and sort of exaggerated to make the case against you as a bad person. But same time, Tom, if we're keeping it real, I do think it's creepy for like a 30-year-old man to get with someone that's 16 years old, dude. Because there's a gap in
She
experience.
wasn't 16, dude.
No, but I'm just okay. That's fine. Did you not?
You
hear me
widen the
say-
gap.
Yeah, and I'm
So
just
listen.
making the point. I'm just
Okay,
making
so
the
here's
point
the other point.
if it applies or
If-
not.
So if there was 3 months between her turning 18, what's not weird about everyone?
I'm
Oh,
not
3 months
saying
later,
you
yeah, it's
deserve-
fine. It's fine 3 months later. It's fine 3 months
I'm
later.
not saying you deserve to be crucified for it. I'm
I
saying
get
that in my experience as an adult man, I recognize a difference in maturity, personal experience,
Right.
shared values,
And
all these
this
things
is
that
what I
I would
think
have no
people.
interest in someone that was 16 years old or 17
No, listen.
or really even
Listen.
20 at this point. I'm almost
Listen.
40 and a 20-year-old,
Listen.
25-year-old. There's just an immaturity gap there that I wouldn't want to fuck with, and I
Oh,
wouldn't
I
be
feel
interested
you.
in.
You're listen. You're this now. Everybody apparently missed this, as Lauren did when I was shouting it to her face. This whole event was 15 years ago. I was a gym rat douchebag with a convertible Mitsubishi Eclipse. I was the most successful in the Domino's world. I had just got this store to myself. I was a fresh GM, balling. I was not the man I am today, but also this thing wasn't like like she was a developed adult. Like she probably has her same adult body at 32 today that she had at 17, as a lot of us do, you know? I was behind in puberty when I was 17. But that's the thing. When I think pedophile, I think like a desire for a flat-chested, bony, underdeveloped kid, you know?
Look, dude, nobody cares what
we
you
didn't
think
look
of
weird.
the
When we went
idea.
out to
There's a
movies-
definition, all right?
when we went out to movies or sat at a restaurant, we didn't stand out. We didn't look weird. And she was like a smarter, scholastic girl to where I agree, your kids pissed me, like teenagers pissed me off back then. But she didn't carry herself like that. That's why I went ahead and gave her the benefit of the doubt and gave it a shot. And I
get it, but I think you've made that point. So now you're just sort of beating the dead horse. People that understand. People that think it's inappropriate. So then you just move on, right? I know
Right.
that's what
So
you're wanting to
beating the
do,
dead
and then it
horse-
gets thrown in your face. I get that aspect.
Both beating the dead horse and the calling me obsessed with the P word guy. It's on the crowd. It's not me. They got me twisted, you know. I know
Right,
you
like
get
how
it.
are you not supposed to address the issue and sort of give that whole ramble when people are bringing it up? So exactly.
Or when he's
and that's the part with
following
you,
me.
Moose, where it's like you do that thing, Moose, of throwing the stones and then hiding the hands, which is fine. We can all do that, trolling and sneak dissing and talking the shit. But then
That's
you
what I
can't,
like about Moose, though.
Yeah, so do I.
It's
But that's
mainly
what I'm
for the
saying. But then we
crowd,
say
though.
Tommy. But then we say Tom is out of line, and Tom is the worst of the worst when we all sort of play those games. for different
And
purposes.
see, I like Moose, except
Didn't
for
I
whenever
admit?
he.
I
I like
admitted earlier.
Moose, except for when he doesn't
damn it.
have that line. Like he said that Homestead needed protected from me, and it's like she's the one that wasn't even under the jurisdiction of unslaved, trying to spell me as a pedo, and I don't even know what she mad about. Like she got me ran off of Larry's channel. I said, okay, Larry's channel is y'all's house. I'll leave. And then she still came for me. And I don't even know what I did to that chick.
Well, see,
I
in
mean,
my opinion, hold on a sec,
sorry.
Moose. In my opinion, you know, like right now, we're actually having an intelligible conversation where we actually understand what you're saying. All right. In my opinion,
do
it's
this all the
when you go off on your fucking loop sometimes, and you're like, I think that's where you annoy people. But I'll speak for myself in this case. Okay, this is where you annoy me. Is when you come and you derail streams and you fucking, you know, and maybe Moose has like his little way of doing it, but he's not a stream derailer. He doesn't fucking make the whole stream about him. He just comes out, fucking pokes, and then backs off. You know, it's like
But we just talked about I only derail a stream when the things we were just talking about happen. Like I'm showing up in a good mood, I'm ready to talk about some subjects, and here comes the meth pedo barrage.
But Tommy, I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. I shouldn't have got you, you know, derailed on that. I shouldn't bring up the meth thing. It was just a trigger.
I actually don't mind the meth thing because
no, you
I
do,
admit
you
to
do,
it.
and look, let's get past this and like let's stop fucking around. Like let's have some good conversations here. I've said the reason why I get angry with you is because you go on for way too long without taking a like. There's no fucking period. You know,
You'd have to cite the situation. They're all individual situations and context.
bro, it's almost every single one. Like anybody that is speaking, there's a lot of people on here, and the more the better they are at doing this, the faster they are to jump on that thing. And and some people just jump right on the end of somebody's sentence, not even listening to them, not giving anybody else a chance to speak for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Dude, I've seen it forever. And then I back up. I say I yield. You know, I'm gone.
In these streets, there's various degrees of who got here when, who was involved in what, who knows what, like who even remembers stuff. So
But
you
dude,
can't put that all
it's
on. You can't just
also
say Tom.
it's also
Tom,
not
Tom,
about
Tom.
like just you, bro. It's about the audience. Like we have an
Yes,
audience out there.
It's exactly what I
me.
think. Okay, but
It's not about
this
me
is where I
unless I'm
agree with
defending.
Tommy. This is where I agree with Moose. Okay, it's sometimes instead of saying a couple of phrases, you go on and say, you know, you speak out a whole chapter when you, and then I think some people like lose focus of what the original subject was about, and it becomes like you do. That's why I call you a stream derailer, because the subject is about a certain topic, and all of a sudden we're talking about something else because you intertwine all kinds of three different subjects into the
That's
same
just the nature
conversation.
of conversation.
No, I don't believe that. I think when you're having a conversation, you're talking about a certain topic, you should be focusing on that topic and not going off into your imagination, if you want to call it that, and not bringing information that's relevant. Bringing information that's relevant to the topic. And this is where my issue comes into play with you, Tommy. Is you can I think you're intelligent. I think you can you can have a good conversation with people, but I think you just need to breathe, man. Take a minute, say a couple of phrases, say what you think, get some response, then feedback, and it's a back and forth thing. I agree with Moose when he says that you're a bit long-winded, and
But I'm also aware of my looking out of my skull experience, and I don't think you guys are aware of how many panels I regular on that you guys have never seen, don't know, and I make sure this circle of streets doesn't catch me at a lot of panels I've discovered in all of this, and I'm just out doing my own thing, man.
Look, Tommy, you're not like a phoenix, like rising from the ashes. You're just a dude stumbling through the streets, and we
Actually,
understand, bro.
I am that because everyone that wants to portray me as some washed up loser, it's like, yeah, I'll play that game, but I have yet to see many people that want to hear me
No,
out.
you're just another person here. You're nothing special, just like me. I'm nothing
that's
special.
why I keep
Sometimes
coming
I
back.
add
Yeah.
something.
So if I'm nothing special, why
You have
am
to
I
keep
on
that.
pod?
I'm just saying to the audience, man, you have to keep that in mind. Keep the shit short. People have short
I have-
attention spans. We live in a world where 20-minute dialogues are going to get, or monologues are going to get people fucking gone. They don't give a shit about that. This isn't your
Sure.
channel, and people want to watch it, right? And people want to be engaged in it.
I disagree.
You can't be engaged if you don't shut the fuck up, Tommy.
But here's the hold on, let me jump in. And Tom, let me say something here in the thing. Moose, I think the counter of that is Tom is very entertaining and good for content. I mean, let's keep it real, dude.
Yeah, no, he is. He is, dude. Let's keep it real.
Out here, Tom isn't the worst one. Like for real.
No, not at all.
There's worse than Tom. I mean,
I think you're
yes.
You're totally taking me out of context here because I'm not saying Tom's the worst.
I'm just adding that opposite that we can't say. No, I'm not trying to do that, Moose, at all. I'm just saying that we can't like ignore the value of even some of the nonsense because it gets us into the muddy waters, which are interesting. This stuff about sexuality and the age of consent and all this. This is good conversation.
It is. You know what? And Tommy is great at content and stuff like that. And so I'm not trying to down you for it. I'm just saying maybe take a breath.
Yeah.
Well, yes, exactly. You're a little more balanced, a little more back and forth, a little more interaction.
And I like your point, Moose, about really we are nobodies out here, Tommy. That is true, man. We all have our personal hero journeys, but at the end of the day, man, we're all just dirt and the breath of life, and that's it, man. We really are sort of all the same.
You're talking to the guy that goes around all these channels saying you're just a public Zoom call. Like, I've always been aware of that.
Right.
And when we talk about context, I think what we're inching toward here is this idea that I'm, I don't want, not ego, but, like that I feel superior to everyone or whatever. And what I think people are seeing is I'm just a guy that I've achieved in my life, like what I'm trying to do and who I'm trying to be. And what people see as like a superior is like, no, we should all be this confident in ourselves to where we're not offended when we see the confidence of another person. And we don't have to tell him that his claims of success are bullshit because it doesn't diminish your path. Like I
never once said that to you though, Thomas.
But I'm talking about a name I dare not state.
See, but he's not here, and that's where we go back to like get his fucking nuts out of your mouth because that's all you think about on these panels, man.
Moose, you don't understand that he chases me, you chase him to try and get back in, and I'm the one that's obsessed.
I'm just part of all these panels, and when I happen to see them, I jump on.
And then you came back. Like Moose, never forget that night that you failed.
Tommy,
with
why
Lauren,
did we switch?
And when you went back to the Unslaved channel, they shunned you off, and you said, "Okay, I'll just go home then." And you came back the next day because that's the way it is. But don't play this shit with me, Moose. I got a longer memory than you.
Tommy, you can't differentiate reality from.
Oh, really? I can. Hey, the first time that you deleted your first channel, that's where we had our cool out with our apologies and we made nice. And then you deleted that channel, and now you're back to your Moose Reindeer games. I'm a fucking college graduate.
I'm not treating you bad at all, dude. Calm down.
Millionaire, soon to be. I'm 100,000-aire, motherfucker.
I'm not questioning your abilities or who you are, Tommy. What I'm saying is keep your thing concise and let everybody talk.
I do. Like I said, in context, these times that I'm derailing and overpowering, like look at the Lauren thing. As soon as I found out she was going that route, I said, okay, I'll throw myself on this grenade. I'm not
but she's not here, and nobody here in the audience probably even knows what the fuck you're talking about. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Throwing that interview in my face. What panels have you been on, Moose? I think you're the one lacking awareness right now. You used to be.
No, you are, because we're in a different avenue. We're in a different venue right now. We're in OTW.
Yeah, but you made it about me. You made it about me. I didn't derail this into Tom, and I appreciate your words.
You're gaslighting me to insanity, Tommy.
Well, the gaslighting's all around. It seems to be a whole environment of gaslighting. We're all thick in the gaslighting. And OTW, do you see our friend Voynich here, who now it's passive aggressive. Thank you, been a nice chat and drama show. You know, he's turning his nose up at these human beings trying to have a conversation. I mean, I love that the sort of I'm going now and fuck you guys. You guys are corny and you know what, sophomoric and gay and pedos. Good day to you, sirs. I'm out of here, and it's like okay.
I
Have a
would
good
say
day,
that's
Voynich.
homophobic, isn't that? I mean, he's actually in fear. He feared when Tommy came out of the closet. He left. He just got off the
See,
panel, and now he's in the chat.
gaslighting. That's gaslighting me.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a
it's like
master, brother.
I used to work at a craft factory where we made Capri Sun, and I had this urban dude. I was like, we were friends and cool, but we were also always beefing, kind of like that coworker beef. And
And then
he
you
would
guys
try
pulled a
and tell
Brokeback Mountain in the break
he
room.
would try and tell everybody I was gay. And whenever I'd push back and say, dude, I'm not gay. You see me dating this coworker, I'm not gay. And he would reply with, hey man, it's not a crime to be gay. It's cool if you're gay. And he wouldn't acknowledge the, oh, you're not gay, you know? That's kind of what you're doing right now.
I don't think anybody sees it like that, Tommy. But I do appreciate you taking the time to let us all know that.
Well, I didn't let us all know. I heard you let us all know that I came out of the closet, and I wanted to put a nail in that real quick before that went anywhere. How's your channel going, Moose? Haven't seen you stream in about a week or so.
Oh yeah, after you reported me.
I didn't report you, dude. I don't know where you're getting that. And here's the thing for all channel holders about reporting and strikes. We could all go to every channel and click report for a number of reasons all day long. And if YouTube doesn't find the violation, it means nothing. It probably reduces your validity in reporting if you do that too much. But I'm not a reporting guy, Moose. It's like I said on that interview, I wouldn't want to destroy that other channel. I want to be able to reference my appearances there. Why would I want to destroy it? Like if I live to be 60, 75, I want to be able to come back and search these out and watch my young ass do whatever we did back here on these channels if they're still posted. So who do you really think posted struck your channel, and what did you get struck for, Moose? Because if it went through, you obviously did something. Moose, what'd you do on your channel, buddy? Did you say some Nazi stuff? Did you lynch a black person on your channel?
Oh no.
Oh, cutting that one.
That's how.
I'm not
That's
the
how
one that did it. I'm not the one that did it, Moose. Don't turn the table. I'm trying to explain to the black community that lynching isn't racial. I mean, as long as rope has been an invention, that's one of the cheapest ways to delete a person. That's not a racial thing at all. If you had a tree and a rope, you could take care of one of your opposition. And at the end of not Django Unchained, what's the one where they're all snowed in and they can't tell
Hateful
who's
Eight.
Huh?
The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, Hateful Eight. At the end of that, a black man and a white man they join up in unity to lynch a woman as a black man and a white man. That's my kind of ending. Is a black man and a white man lynching a woman. I could watch that all day. That's my
you know, it's kind of interesting and weird how like culture will influence people to view something like lynching as race specific or ethnicity specific because of different times in history. But kind of like you said, it's just people have been hanging other people for a while, regardless of ethnicity. Just hanging your enemies or hanging the person that raped the young girl in the village. So that, and then slavery is only something that Africans went through. And I know a lot of people. Maybe I shouldn't say a lot, but obviously there's plenty of people out there that realize that wasn't something that only happened to Black people or
No.
Native Americans, and Like
No, in
it's
human
an archetype.
history.
It's a human. Yeah, exactly.
Because the
Human
original
issue.
basis for slavery was, are you an exploitable human? Like, oh, child by a burning hut that his parents won't ever come out of. Come with me. You're going to make me a profit on the slave trade because your life is in shambles. You're exploitable. And that's how slavery, that's one example of how slavery happened. And it was always your own people because you would see exploitable people in your own people and make slaves out of them.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
just
like
learned that.
America was the time in history that there was a spotlight on us because there was the transition and the ending of the servitude. But there was that, like, even though we weren't there, we have been taught to believe it was a very large portion African people. Um, and because of that historical spotlight, our minds tend to just carry that backwards and just try and think it was always about color, but it wasn't. And even that movie that recently came out, it's like it showed that we obviously bought Africans off of Africans because when your tribe lost a tribal war, well, you don't join our tribe, you can serve our tribe, but or we'll sell you off, because they were Africans exploiting Africans. They're still doing it today with the blood diamond heroin kid armies and stuff.
Here, Yurt, I was wondering if you would like to address this comment by RT.
Yeah, I was just about to type out a response to that. So here's the deal. I'm aware of some of the things that Tommy said about creating a homestead in Colorado's physical appearance. She's brought those up to me in some of our conversations. I am aware of those things. Now, does that change my so-called? See, RT likes to do this. He's packing in an argument to his question, so it's not actually a legitimate question, right?
Yeah, it's a
Because
gotcha.
he's already well, and Tommy, just let me go here for a second. You can add on, whatever you like when I'm done. But so he's already building in his refutation of what I'm going to say because he knows the answer. Right, because I've already said this too, and I've already said it to creating a homestead in Colorado. I personally don't think that's very cool to go after people's physical appearance and sort of, going hard in that line of jokes, though there's a place for all sorts of jokes. My physical appearance has been mocked many a times all over the place. So it's part of engaging in the public sphere. But my other point to that was that if I'm going to get all super defensive of creating a homestead because of what Tom said about her looks, then I'm also got to be super offended from Tom's perspective that creating a homestead is going around calling him a pedophile. So at the point where we start slinging mud and talking our shit to each other, we enter a different combative realm that we can't claim clean hands anymore. Once we're engaged in the mud, all our hands are getting dirty. And you don't get to stop halfway through and then say, oh shit, I don't like how this looks. Now they're throwing mud at me.
Now let me just rewind the tape a little further to show the logic in it. This is how she messed up because she wanted to verbally come at me on the typical meth thing. So of course she overreached and I said, oh, well, as the meth guy, would you like to compare teeth count? Because yeah, man, like I thought that was very appropriate for what I was pushing back against. And I mean, she's obviously an adult who fell off on some level of responsibility, or she was doing a lot of bar fighting because I did that one thing for 3 years. I've got all my teeth. And it's not even that I think it's a big deal to lose your teeth because I always say if I lost enough, I just pull them all and get dentures or implants. But it's like if you got the nerve to come at me on the Breaking Bad tip with like 3 teeth in your mouth, yeah, you're gonna catch that because you weren't aware. You were lacking awareness. You overreached, did some art of war shit on you. And yeah, I don't think it was really a big deal. I don't think she's the kind, sweet person people try and back her up as.
Well, yeah, and to that comment, OTW, she says you can't call my response to a witch hunt when it was in self-defense. You're using the term self-defense in sort of a broad way here if we're talking about engagement on a social media platform. I don't think you reached the threshold of self-defense for your actions. And maybe calling it a witch hunt is also a little hyperbolic as well, because we're talking social media stuff. But when I've used that term, I'm using it as a descriptive sort of sense that occurs on these things when the chat mob gets in an uproar, or when people get in an uproar, more sort of the collective dynamic of outrage is what I meant by witch hunt. I can use a bunch of different words to describe the same thing if
So let me get your opinion on something, Yurt. Because I mean, I can have it out with people all they want, but do you see the significance that it's like she waited till a girl that tries to do a respectable, like a show with an order and a constructiveness to it? She's like, yeah, I'll show up whenever he's there and try and get it to the host whenever I know the subject isn't anywhere near this. And I still have yet to see that I broke a law or wronged the person.
But again, it's the fair play is fair play, Tom, all around, right? So you can't go blaming her for her showing up, talking about the shit you talked about days before that interview. And you know what I mean? We all got to be even-handed.
That's
in this
fair.
shit is what I'm saying.
That's fair. So if she is commenting in the chat right now, let's revisit my other question. What the fuck did I ever do where she's like, no, I've got to intrude on his side business because he's wronged me so hard?
And again, see, now I got to respond to RT's comments. He made a couple. He said, joking about my hair in the man bun isn't the same as a woman's appearance. One, I'm not talking about, they've made fun of a lot more things than just my man bun, RT. But that's sort of begging the question. Making fun of someone's appearance is making fun of someone's appearance, right? So you're saying, oh, don't care about someone making a joke about your man bun, but this woman's appearance, has a special super sacred value outside yours. Okay, that's fine if you want to say that, but that doesn't really work logically. And then he says, so are you saying what he said about Mary's appearance was uncool, but she deserved it? No, I'm not saying deserved. See, you're making an argument as you're asking a question. And what I'm saying is, once we're engaged in the mudslinging and we're all getting dirty, it's very hard to figure out who threw the first mud ball and who should have ultimate responsibility in that mud fight. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to jump in here real fast. Tommy, hold on. Let me jump in here. So, anyways, what I see is I see motherfuckers going to every single stream and causing enemies, pointing the finger at each other, causing a bunch of bullshit. If you don't like the fucking stream, leave. If you don't agree with whoever's on the panel, come back the next day. Let's just stop starting shit with each other for no fucking reason. This is ridiculous. I'm out here raking fucking chips, and you guys are up here bitching about the people in the chat. Who gives a fuck what they're saying down there?
He's gimping on us right now.
Oh, what? No. What do you think, Christos?
You're kind of reaching. You're reaching in multiple directions, Moose. Maybe you should just rake leaves and let us talk this out. So, like, when she was in that bottom chat in all caps, like, I've never done meth. It's like, okay, so are you saying, like, are you addressing that I have? Because I'm the one that gave YouTube that information specifically to compare it to what we prescribe kids. And no one seems to even...
Dude, nobody cares about you and meth, Tommy. Let's move on.
No, but do you care about kids and meth? See, rake your leaves, Moose. Let the big boys talk for a second. It's not troll time.
Speaking of that, I just brought up some symptoms of meth addictions. We have signs and symptoms here. We're talking about mood symptoms. You all have behavioral symptoms, physical symptoms, psychological symptoms. So we can go down the list and you see if any of these things relate to your current situation here.
To try and
If
to
I
try and
understand-
No,
reaccuse me
I want to
of being on
understand.
the
I
ship.
don't know. This is look. It says here, understanding meth addiction, right?
But these
So-
effects can also come from lots of things in life.
I think Tommy even said, it's been a while per se. This is not like a regular thing with him. I think because what I've seen is he's brought it up a couple different times, or people have brought it back up, so it gets talked about. There seems to be a misconception that at first I thought Tommy was a tweaker, but over time, I don't think this guy is addicted to it. I don't agree with doing it, but I don't think this dude's necessarily addicted to it. It seems
Well,
he
here
seems
we could go
pretty
down the list.
level-headed when I see him nowadays on streams. Like maybe he might talk a while to some people's dislike, but maybe like once or twice he seemed like tweaking in the beginning when I first started seeing him, but I don't think he's a tweaker. I don't think this dude's addicted to any
And
hard
with
drugs
the
for
hype
real.
over it is why I leaned into the act some of those times. It's
Right,
sometimes
yeah, I can
I'm
see that
drinking a
too.
Go Fast. Like that's what's ironic about that energy drink Go Fast, because on the streets they will call Breaking Bad Go Fast. So one time I even held that can up on my stream camera. It said Go Fast. And it was like, yeah, you get it? You get it? Because
Well,
that
and-
particular brand does spaz me out.
And OTW, what's worse, OTW, being called a meth head or a pedo?
Holy shit! I don't know because right here it says in behavioral symptoms. Pardon my French. It says here risky sexual behavior.
Risque
So
sexual.
risky.
Whenever I dated
risky.
that girl,
Because
whenever I
risky is
dated
kind of
that-
like
Hey.
a broad word here.
There
Let me
you go.
speak here, Lumitami. I'm
well, you're
trying to
you're
define
trying to
risky.
imply things about me, so
No. It says here understanding meth addiction. So I'm just going down the list to see if anything resonates with anybody.
but
you know?
it's the timeline show.
Tommy,
talking
shut
about.
up! It's his show, you asshole.
No, it's his show trying to fucking unslave me right now. This is what
Okay,
I
well, we
said
got here
earlier.
wanting
Is I've
to
given
quit
details. I've
cut
given lots of
down
details
on.
about my 43
Tommy, he
years.
asked you to shut up for a second
No,
so he
you
could
did,
speak.
Moose, and I'm not
No,
regarding you in
he
anything.
did. You
See,
fucking
here we got-
retard.
We increase in fighting, guys. Look at that. Ooh boy.
That's everybody on these panels, so you're all
Everywhere
in.
he goes.
All right, so we got what do we
It's
have
not
here?
everywhere I go, Moose. I go on panels where things go fine when you're not there.
Oh, we got one here. It says here pulling away from friends and family.
So what
The
do you
movie-
equate
Tommy,
that
me and
to?
you used to be friends.
The only reason we're not is because you're losing your shit, Moose. You have no consistency.
We have here in psychological symptoms marked confusion, memory
I'm
loss,
never confused. I have
disorganized
a better
lifestyle,
memory than half of these streets, man. That's how I win over in my
paranoia, which can be,
never been paranoid on your
it could be
channel.
permanent. It could be permanent. It says here.
So show me where I'm
Psychosis.
doing these things, OTW.
Do you have hallucinations?
When I eat acid or do DMT.
Oh, okay. So are you saying that you have a total break from reality?
No, you asked if I have hallucinations. I said when I do psycho, what are they called?
Do you engage in unsafe activities?
My whole life,
Oh,
even
there
in
we
the
go.
straight edge times. I grew up in West Virginia, boy. That life is unsafe activities.
All right. Do you have any legal problems?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Are you avoiding hobbies and activities that were once considered pleasurable?
There's a mass move away from video games, but yeah, I'm not playing video games like I used to. But I equate it to the change in our times and the urgency to maybe be attentive to what's going on in our government and such.
Have you ever said that you've been wanting to quit or cut down on meth use without being able to?
I've never had a problem with any drug use. Like, I don't see how far you take this before I'm like, look what you're doing, OTW.
I'm checking you out, dude. I want to see how far this goes.
I think there's nothing I've done that compares to you crying to the P-Man going, I just hate seeing myself in you. Like, that's how, like, a bunch of you guys cucked to him.
To who?
I just
Who
hate
are
seeing
you talking
myself
about?
in you. We're talking about you.
You're talking about me.
Yeah, you and Ian both. Like, in the height of all that shit, you guys just said, fuck it, I'll join him. And that didn't even go smooth.
Oh, you're talking about Paul right now. Okay, now I get it. All right, so you
And
have
not
an
that I
issue
do
with
too
the
much.
fact
You're
that
not saying I
instead,
talk about him too much, though, right?
well, you always, like Moose says, you always have Paul's name in your mouth, man.
No, if we're in these
Hey, can we
streets
get a
and he's-
whiteboard? And every
Fuck,
time he
and
brings
I've
his
been
name
live.
up, can you
I've
put
been
a
live
scratch
for
there?
3 hours. I've been live for 3 hours,
Yeah,
and I haven't mentioned
the
Paul's name
subject matter.
once.
No, but it's the subject matter. Like, we're talking about these streets.
No,
For
Paul's
the
the
first
subject
6
matter,
months,
in my
I
opinion.
spent 6 months only there. It's
Now,
like
you
when
know
I
what?
first got out of college, I talked about college a lot.
Let's
When
fucking
that kid
summon
got out of
Paul
the
right
turtle
now.
thing and she asked him about zombies, he said, I like turtles, because he just got out of the turtle exhibit.
Let's summon Paul right now. Let's see how you deal with him if he decides to click link and show up over here.
I
and
have.
fucking-
You can find various panels that I've dealt with him. That's what you don't get. Like, you guys want to
Let's
assess
summon
me,
Paul. But
but
no,
you
it's
can't
because you
keep up.
fucking
You can't
incessantly
keep up
fucking
with my
bring him
panel
up into the
rotation.
conversation without him being here. And that's the thing. It's like talking about people when they're not there. That's
Yeah, he
like,
does
first of all,
that
that's
to
the first issue.
me. Everybody
you're
does
always
it.
there. You're always in chat.
Everybody
You're
is
there.
doing it.
No, but at least people like, look, before we talk about creating a homestead in Colorado, well, she's in chat. She's fucking here. She's watching.
Yeah,
This
she
is
can
the
come
whole
right
issue.
the fuck up, can't she? She can come up on this panel, can't she? And we can find out what I did that was so horrible.
Oh, I'm sure she's brave enough. There you go. She's very brave, and I'm not worried that she's not afraid to click the fucking link and come and fucking.
It's not a question of fear. We're not in any physical danger.
No, it's about fucking.
It's about gaslighting me, because you and Ian
I
both have the
haven't
thing in
fucking
common.
tried to gaslight
Like,
you,
one
dude.
thing that you and Ian have in common is I came to both of you whenever that guy was a problem, like when he was new and a problem to you. I came to both of you and just said, hey, I know how to handle that if you need to handle that.
Who's to say you
And
weren't
out
the
of
one who dragged him
association,
over there? He was following your ass everywhere. He's following Jack's ass everywhere.
So that's what
I'm
rescued me from my obsession. You can't say I'm obsessed if you're admitting that he was tailing me.
No, but he just does that because when people fucking annoy him, he fucking tends to want to fucking,
And you have the
I
nerve
understand
to say
how he
that,
functions, but you don't. You obviously take everything personally, and you don't
no,
get.
see, you're fucking retarded, OTW. I've spent 6 months fucking with them. Back when that was Moose's family, I was still fucking with them. And everywhere I go, I reference that I was fucking with them. That's why
But what I don't understand is how come
French.
you haven't reached a certain point in your reputation. Like, you're a little bit, to me, I see you a bit like fucking Jack. You know what I'm saying?
But your reputation,
you guys are
makes
digging
me
your own
not
hole, kind of
value
like.
your input. Like, I've seen your story too. I've been lurking in these streets too. I'm not impressed with you.
No, the right thing is to
That's
say
not the
he's a
point.
one-trick pony.
I'm not a one-trick pony. You're the one-trick pony, Moose. All you got is a little derailment everywhere you go. And then you act like, oh, but I'm just trying to help, Jack. I'm just trying to help. Let me do your thumbnails, Jack. And then you'll just fucking throw something catty in eventually. It's like, it's trivial, Moose. It's like, keep working on it.
All right.
Or
So
maybe
if
just
talk
raise
about
that family, do that hotel thing.
All right, hold on a sec, Lumitami. if I refer this to, like, let's say my personal life, okay? Well, I'd most likely hang with Yurt. I go fucking do whatever fucking, I do something with Yurt, man. And I'd also do something with Christos in my real life,
Yeah.
Moose, I still don't know very well, but I actually like him, so I'm gathering. Because I don't see his face much, so I can't really get my I like to analyze body language and shit like that. But
I tried to go on cam, it's not working.
I've seen your body language, dude. Sorry, Illumitami, but you're the kind of guy that I would fucking avoid at all costs. You know, this is the closest interaction we would have in real life is here on the metaverse on YouTube, because
Oh,
besides that,
I've
you know,
intentionally avoided coming back to your channel, but
I've
dude,
even asked
that's
you
what I'm
not to
saying.
come back, and you
Do
still click the
you
link. So
think do you think that this guy that comes on these panels fucking around, do you think that's the guy that developed the resume I have, that did the marketplace I've done, that has lived both criminal and law enforcement aspects of life? Like, it's 43 years. I don't think that I'm ancient, but people drastically underestimate our lives compared to what we've even had a chance to mention in these streets, compared to who's even paying attention or getting it right. Like, that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
it's your voice. I think it might be your voice.
Saying at the beginning about all this is dust in the wind. Why are we not still on that dust in the wind thing? Why do I have to continually stand trial for shit you might be misinterpreting, as I guarantee you are?
But I never hold you accountable for anything, dude. I'd fucking do my research and I fucking listen and I watch.
But if I've done something, I want to be accountable and I want to correct it. That's why I'm like, hey, if Homestead can tell me where I did some pedo accusation level shit,
Dude, we're past that. We're an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just a callback for an example, Moose. All right? You're out of your element. Rake the leaves. Raise the family.
I think what your problem is you're projecting on me what you need to do.
No,
you need to go out and take some action in your life.
There. That interjection was completely unnecessary.
Well, what do I need to do, Moose? Like, what is my problem when I'm telling you this is all sideshow?
All I'm saying is we've already passed that, and you keep bringing us back there.
Past what?
Your conversations
We've already been
come
past
full
what?
circle at times, and at times conversations will, point to things that were earlier in the conversation. That doesn't necessarily mean, okay, now we're going all the way back to that.
Right.
And also stick on that subject.
And Christos, that's another thing you're reminding me of. One thing that makes me look all about me or self-centered is when I'm looking for like valid points to make in logic, I have to reference something that the panel and me are aware has happened. It's like I can only reference my experience that you guys watched me do as the validity. I can't make up a hypothetical. I can't go off on a tangent. It's like you guys saw me on Lauren. You saw that happen. I can reference that. And it doesn't mean I'm making it about me. And I might be saying, look at what we do in these streets as per this event I was in.
Right, just giving examples.
Right. So imagine
you're right,
the 6
Tommy,
months of examples that you guys would say I'm obsessed, but it's like that 6 months, me and the Unslaved didn't know these other streets were here. It was like Peniel, I think. Peniel and Z were those like breakout connector people that once Peniel said, Ian, we are awake, and Z, like it just started branching out from there. I thought Paul was the only streets channel where you could like go on a Zoom call. And now I've found more than even you guys know about right now. And it's crazy
there's a
what
lot,
kind of stuff. Yeah, you saw me at Sir Drop, right? It's crazy what kind of stuff blows all of our numbers away. Like there's panels that are like easily averaging 500 or more live viewers a day. And it's just good.
Tommy, what do you think of Z?
I like Z. I mean, I don't like some of the narrative he carried against me, but as far as his style and the way he goes over the top with his show and stuff, I dig him. And he does remind me of some of my friends back east that I feel that like, even though he's not those people, like it's the same with Yurt. I told Yurt he's the combination of two of my lunch table friends from back in the school days. That's why Yurt gets my like little bit of chemical balance, regardless of who he actually is. It's the same thing with Z. And anybody else that might remind me of someone.
Anybody in the chat, if you guys could hit the like, that thumbs up, doesn't cost anything, and share and subscribe.
I never hit it.
Rhina Thea's comments were pretty interesting there too. OTW this.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what is the 3 skin ratio? Apparently, the mutts out here are going to survive.
Did you see her previous comment or
yeah?
Right, this it was right here. Hold on, I got it.
On the nuke
Can
thing.
somebody read it?
Yeah, if
That's
you're too white or too black or too brown, you won't survive the nuke. Okay, you have to be a 3 skin ratio hybrid. I fucking love that comment.
Literally.
It's fucking that's gold. Then he said, "We already know who's going to survive and who's going to die."
Yeah, it's the authority. It's the baked-in authority of the comment, right? Like some
Yeah,
some
here's the
think
last one.
tank here sharing a key
The coof,
info.
the coof doesn't affect 3 skin ratio hybrids. So
Hey, is this a Q drop?
Yeah, maybe. Isn't it amazing how all that news doesn't even like penetrate our circles? Like no one even cares.
That was
You
hella
gotta-
funny, Moose. Go ahead, you're my bad.
No, you're all good. Like we don't even care about. I've completely detached myself, and I already had for the longest time. But like the mainstream media narratives just seem completely irrelevant. The whole Trump
Operation
arrested,
Mockingbird.
the whole fucking thing going on seem irrelevant to me. But
And
And
that's
I don't
kind of
ever-
how I was hoping society would break out, like during the lockdowns, as you're going to stores and you're kind of looking for like who seems like an agent for face masks and who's being laid back, you know. It's like if you were in the N-word Germany, how would you spot like the small hat allies without making yourself targeted, you know? Like the mask situation kind of was like a lower form of that to experiment with. Because whenever I go to gun ranges and gun stores and stuff, whenever I'm around ammo sexuals, I stump all of them when I say, guys, after the boog, how do we re-identify the society people versus the marauders? Like, how do we reattach each other as society at that point? And they all stop and think, and they always go, you know what? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how you do that. Because you got to remember, in the boog, if somebody's hungry or they just want your shit, they'll slap on an American flag. They'll come up to your face patriotic, get in good, get past your gates, some Walking Dead shit.
I think
what the fuck?
You just gotta
Well,
go.
This is what I think is the difficulty of it. Like, we already came from the Wild West. Like, the Wild West was shooting people in the back in the saloon, doing dirty, underhanded stuff. And we evolved past that into a more advanced society. But I don't think we've ever gone from this backwards and then had to re-evolve again. And I think that would be more difficult than just coming through it the first time.
All right, so your thoughts, panel, because Illuminatomi's voice eventually fucking my eardrums are like fucking they're bleeding.
So isn't this what you're looking for though? Am I not being NPR Tom right now?
Yeah, you're doing all right, but I'm still fucking dealing with my own shit. So, anybody else
Well,
have anything to say?
I think it was good how you did that, OTW. How you said any thoughts, from the panel, because it seemed that Tommy had made a few points here. He had even paused. You saw he paused there a minute ago, and no one went in, so he kept talking. So it's definitely still a collective effort on all our parts for these builds to make it congruent and cohesive, and definitely a collective effort here and keeping the flow going and going back and forth, getting in that flow, not letting someone go for too long, and having that person have their own self-awareness. So it's a whole symbiotic thing that we got going on here. But I was just basically saying, I think you cut in at a good time to see if anyone, I guess, had any thoughts on what Illumitami was saying.
Yeah, we just didn't need
I'll
the
let anyone else
ear-bleeding
grab
part.
it.
Great
We just
points,
didn't need the
Christos.
ear-bleeding part. But Christos, you were on the road to that. Like the 2 or 3 times I did your panel when you were doing it, I felt like you facilitated that very well.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. I thought you were saying the opposite for a second.
Well, in the beginning, when I first mentioned some Breaking Bad stuff, you kind of had some defensive, but
Yeah,
once
I
we
had
got
some
past
judgments.
but that's all it was. Once you got past that, your panel was rolling, dude. Like Cage, and I think that's when Lucid was running around with Cage. Like there was some good out of those 2 or 3 visits that I was there for, man. Those were all good.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking in the future to kind of get some of that dynamic going again. But like this panel here, I feel like is like honestly, and maybe some people feel some different ways, but I think this is a pretty dynamic panel with the different people we have on here converging. I do. It's good you hopped on here, man, for sure. You know, regardless of at times, you know,
Well,
Yeah,
and we
people may
there's
also
feel
have
sometimes
about it. You know,
you're lucky to, dude, because and I would be inclined to not let you on, but you see, I decided to, and it didn't turn out that bad. I mean, I'm not unhappy, or am I happy? I'm gonna have to get through this, guys. I'm having psychological issues right now. But once I get through my psychological issues, I'll be able to, say something congruent and that makes sense. Until then, I'll most likely be saying a bunch of
Well, and
nonsense
what are your
and nothing that.
psychological issues? What issues, my friend? What are the issues? Just let it out. It's okay. What are the
It's
issues?
like my
Just
it,
you find
it
Tom a
feels
little
like
unwily. He's a little hard to contain. Isn't that the fun? He's like, right? He's like a horse which won't be broken. Do we have to break all the horses? Do we have to neuter all the outlaws? Can we not have one that's sort of off the chain and getting a little wild? I mean, I think it's a good
I guess
time.
so, yeah.
And I would
But you
just like,
see,
as a broadcaster,
go ahead.
never insult the talent, OTW. Never insult the talent. You know what I mean? We're not above Tom's madness or anyone else's madness. That's how I look at it. If someone's courageous enough to come up here and willing to give their time, like I thought what you were saying a little disrespectful, to be honest. And nothing against you. I get your annoyance. I get worn out by panels sometimes too. But it's still just a human being who came up here and spit their shit. If you think it's weird or crazy or he's immoral or the worst person ever, he still gave you the content and gave you the time, and so it's like,
Well,
I think that don't insult the talent is a good way to.
There's where I'm gonna have to agree with you, Yurt. On a certain extent, the fact that I am disrespectful towards Tommy is that's my brain fart. You see, the fact that we went through gay, then we went through racism, then we went to the wild wild west, and we fucking went. It's like the variety of subjects that have been gone through this panel. I don't know. It's like we haven't really been able to focus. Yeah, sometimes we usually focus on something and we talk about that thing. We jumped around a bit,
But I mean, in just people before internet, like just sitting in groups, that's what would happen with conversation. Like a detail will spawn off, and then that turns into the new subject, and then you're eventually like, how do we even get here? It's like, oh, you'd have to go spider web it backwards,
Well,
but
I find that in a good conversation and a good round table, we get some good jokes, we get some laughing in there, we talk about, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like I went on Pineal Powers, his karaoke night, man, and I had the fucking best fucking time in a long time on YouTube ever, man. Was right on his freaking karaoke show, man. It was fucking great, man. It was just awesome. So that being said, it's like that's the kind of experience I think I would like to have on my broadcast, where we're fucking going at it, fucking chopping it up, but fucking throwing jokes in there and fucking laughing our heads off and fucking having a great time. I guess sometimes the conversations get a little bit too serious, and maybe that's why I sometimes fucking lash out at you, Illumitime, because it's just.
Well, can I interject?
I don't know, man. I have this, like I said, I have these.
I'm gonna
these
regeneralize what you're talking about, because like with both the subject matter and the derailment, like guys, I've watched hours of these panels where I'm not present, and the same thing happens. It's like if you watch sports, you're not guaranteed a good game every time you watch two teams compete. There's the chemistry of the two teams. There's the events of that game. And the panels are no different. You win some, you lose some. They're not all going to be winners. But I'm definitely not like this sole lone derailer guy. Like if I'm gone, you'll find the derailer to make a derailer out of, or someone will find a reason to derail. And when I reference playing games and having it as a skill, did you not see that with Lauren, where as soon as I realized that she had made her choice of where we were going, I was like, okay, time to blow this show up, you know, and I turned it up. I was already acting a fool from the beginning. Like there was a bigger plan of entertainment that was disrupted
It was
because I did.
terrible, Tommy. It was.
You
I
see,
mean, it was like
look,
a 3 out of 10.
No, it wasn't
But
terrible.
it was
But there was
I
there
don't
was
mind.
it was terrible, but in a good way. It was in a
right,
good
right,
way
like
terrible.
Cocaine Bear, like Sharknado, yeah. But listen, here's how I
Yes.
really went wrong. There was like a structured plan, but I had over marketed the troll marketing because I even told Henry, like, let's take an extra week. They wanted to do it the first Sunday since they contacted. And I was like, let's give it one more week so I can go around, make sure panels know it's going down, so I can get a little trolly with it, get those asses in the seats. And it bit me in the ass whenever because
But
I
part of the
knew
joke,
Lauren.
Tom, here's the joke, and here's how you go from a flat character to a round character. Do you get the joke of it that you played yourself?
I didn't play myself though, because if
See,
you guys
that's why you're gold, my friend, and I got to roll. But that's why you're 100% gold to me, Tom, because that's why you're a flat character. That's what people are responding to. The fact that you can't say, "Oh, I did sort of play myself in all that," is what makes you so fascinating and so interesting.
but I'm telling you where I went wrong. I don't see
No,
it as
no,
like
you are a little
playing
bit,
myself.
but the playing yourself is linking up with a person like that and thinking that it's not going to turn into the shit show. That's what I mean by
No,
playing.
I very much knew it was, because that's what I'm saying. The plan was to do a certain type of shit show, because we never got to the details of like that title didn't say P Unslaved. It just said cults. And the original plan wasn't even to be about Paul. I was going to call out all the chatters, like the typical chatters. I was going to call out names. I was going to say, Paul might not be a cult leader, but let me tell you about cult followers. But yeah, it did get out of my power, derailed, and I will be back on that show because they came at me like, dude, that's 1,000 views. They're like, Tiger King only is 200 views. Like, I will be back on De Laguna for who knows what. But there's various talks after that day. Like a prank call YouTube channel hit me up after that show. There's a talks with the producer about me doing a not so panel show with some directions. Like nothing is ever bad. It's like I say on panels, everything is good. You just have to figure out how. But
See,
like, yeah, guys.
we have. Look at this, Tommy. Look, we have a spectator here. All right, Mr. Slappin. Okay, what the fuck? This dude still talking. You know, it's like
I'm responding to the talking I've heard.
But you see, I think I'm not the only one who has.
Okay,
that
here's
same
a question I have for everybody that I've noticed. If
Oh,
we're
go
all
ahead.
in these streets
Here, you
and
know
we're
what?
all
How about
just
I
in the wind
fucking put
channel,
you up there in the corner,
when
and I'll put myself down here.
no,
And
it's not any kind of power play. Just hear me out.
there we go.
When
I'll let
we
you.
Hold on,
reference,
but
Here we
before
go.
you go into that,
You-
I got to roll. I got to go get breakfast, guys. Thank you for hosting OTW News.
you're.
it's all
This
you
is.
said.
Can you stay for this one question, please?
No.
Because it's
Thank Illumitami because he's the host now. I retired.
I'm just
Okay, all
gonna
right,
leave
go
with
ahead,
your.
Tommy.
I'm just
I
a
got the try
panelist.
for you. Go ahead, Tom. Host Tom.
I mean, we could save this for your next stream. But do you notice a thing in these streets where maybe it's the structure and the team of Lauren and Henry, but why does everyone reference that interview like it's any different than right now or any other panel I go on? Like I see them all as the same Zoom call, trivial, dust in the wind, but you guys reference Lauren like it was some Fox channel syndicated thing. Like,
No,
even
it seems
Ian commented like you
exactly
gave
like
him a
no.
chance.
No. It seems exactly like what we do here. The part that made it funny and built sort of that tension is the hype you were giving it. You were building that tension in. right? That it was going to be this big sort of.
Because there was a plan and it was going to be funny and entertaining even for Paul. But because I trolled it too much, there was too many forces there to derail. And then I also underestimated that Lauren without Henry would be so drifting in the sea with no sails or whatever, like I didn't know she was that lost without Henry. Because like that's the first time I ever saw them lose connection. Because I even had timestamps and videos to reference with Henry that it's like, oh, that's all out the window now, and we'll see what happens,
But you didn't see their ineptness before that? I mean, she
because
clearly...
I even asked Goblin. I was on Goblin's stream one night, like, dude, do you feel like Lauren kind of was coming at you backhanded or showed you some disrespect? And he was like, no. And I was like, I think so. But then, like, with Jack, I feel when Jack says that, I'm like, no, Jack, you're still not coming to terms with what she's kind of, like, striking a nerve with you about, because you're still doing it. Like, you're going over there and laughing with them, kicking you in the teeth, and you don't think you're giving off cult follower vibes,
But that's what I meant by playing yourself, though, dude, was that if you saw it was sort of an inept shit show and then you thought you were going to have some authorship in that, then that's how you play yourself.
Well, okay, let's re-elaborate on the playing myself, because do you think I was there to go against Paul? Like, is that how I played myself? Was I didn't successfully do a hit piece on Paul? Because that was never my plan.
Oh, I thought that's kind of what you were getting at.
I mean, it's what she wanted. And did you notice how I've taken it up with Paul? Like, how often in that interview I was supporting where I agreed, but he will never use me as an enemy. Like I use everyone in their role. Like, if someone's my enemy, then that's an opportunity to show people how I can still agree with my enemy or take up with my enemy when I think he's right. And I don't get that from my enemies. And I don't even see people reading that deep into the Game of Thrones of it all.
Yeah, that is true.
Like with Benton, the way I was trying to convey a lot of the ways he offended me was like, he wants to play it like, well, I don't care if I offended you. And I'm like, Benton, all I'm saying is you never should have went through all the give me half your channel bullshit if that's how you feel. Like, you could have spared me the honor of being told. Like, people came to me before Benton got to me like, hey, Benton's looking for you. He's trying to give you like the keys to his castle. He's trying to give you like half his channel when he's not online. And I was like, well, I don't think he wants to do that. I don't think he's
Tommy, why do you always have somebody else's nuts in your mouth? Like, why is it always gossiping about other people? Why can't we just have a conversation about like real shit?
We're right back to it.
Like,
hold on, guys. Let me check out of here and go get my breakfast. But I just want to say AFKA means artist formerly known as Creating a Homestead. And then also your comment before that about skits, tricks, and fables. I love them all. I love skits, I love tricks, and I love fables, and a lot of wisdom and knowledge gets shared with us in all those things. So I don't know what the problem is there, but I'm a big fan of all those things. I want more skits, tricks, and fables out here. But good day to everyone, and we'll do it.
Let's do it, Austin. Go get that breakfast, sir.
Oh, yeah. Peace, man. Thank you for being here, brother. You're always welcome, man.
All right, thank you. Yeah, you guys have a good day, guys.
So that's the thing, Moose. If it's dust in the wind and it's skits, tricks, and fables, like, why do you got to keep bringing it back to this nuts in the mouth bullshit that I'm just going to debunk? It's like you're the one with an issue that you got to keep coming at me on that shit. Like I said, what other words? Like, I'll agree with trying to cut back on pointing at someone and saying N-word, but that's about the only language I'm going to restrict.
All right, thank you, Tommy. That's enough from you today. We appreciate your contributions. It's 3:33.
You're doing the daddy thing where you
it's 3:33 into the broadcast. I just wanted to say 3.
Oh, is that a pineal thing? Like EYE 333?
All right, so what did you want to say, Moose? Come on, man.
3:44.
Well, no, in the broadcast, 3:33 hour. Now it is 3:34. But anyway.
Yeah, so now we're 3:34.
Mine's at 44. You forget that I'm from the future.
I was just saying the people don't have enough time for Tommy right now, so we're going to have to move on to OTW because that's what the people came here for.
Right.
God, you are
Hey,
just little bitch boy to anybody that'll take you. OTW, do you
will you
hear
knock
the
it off,
early
Tommy? Will you let
unslaved
him
days in this?
speak?
He's playing
he's
the
flattering
game
me.
with
Will you let him flatter me, please?
But he does it to Jack. He does it to anybody with viewers that might let him be
Except
the
for
new
you.
right-hand.
Why
I
you
don't
would
have
not
a
do it for you?
channel. I don't have a channel.
No, because you don't shut
hold
up.
on, wait a minute. If somebody would, actually really did, they would come up here and want to, lick your balls. Now, how come I don't ever see anybody licking your balls, dude?
Because I don't have a channel to coattail on. But he has been like, Jack, let me be your thumbnail guy. Jack, I'm going to show up here and help you regulate. Just
well,
like
maybe right where you just said that, you found the solution to all your issues, bro, on the internet.
But
maybe
no,
you should create your
he's
own
on his
channel
third
and
channel.
attract
Moose,
the
are you on
people
your
that
third
fucking
channel?
resonate with you. And I'm not saying that I actually didn't find that bad this time around. Having you on this, it's not that bad. I guess I can deal with it, because I do appreciate a good broadcast, but sometimes it's we got to get to some fucking good fucking subjects, man. We got to talk about
Every
something
time
interesting.
I've been on your panel, OTW, it's always been pretty good. And I don't know what this recent cataclysm was that's got you on this tip with me.
Well, okay, let me explain this. I think I've already run down this. What are we? I'm fucking parakeeting myself now.
Well,
I've
do you
already
want me to
told. It's
run
like,
down real quick what I've seen?
well, go ahead. Let me see.
Okay.
I'm willing to listen to your interpretation or
And I'll make
perspective
it quick.
on
I'll
what
make
you
it quick.
think this is all about. Go ahead.
Well, I'm giving you the chance to see where my gap is that needs filled in. So
All
there was
right.
that.
Well,
So we
that
had a
sounds-
misunderstanding in the beginning. You
Right.
heard me talking about it on a panel to where you came up and was like, "Hey, dude, about that shit you're talking about, I'm sorry. I was wrong." I was like, "Hey, that's real stand-up shit there. We can be cool." And so I came on your panel a couple times after that. We talked about religion and whatever was going on. It was really cool. And then just one day I showed up here or somewhere and you were like, "Yeah, fuck that guy." And I don't know what changed that.
Let me recall.
And if
because
you don't know
I'm
either, I don't
asking
blame you.
myself now what the fuck happened that made me change my mind about you.
And I agree, because like day after day, panel after panel, I mention all the time, what would I even bother going back to clip or timestamp? There's so much. Like, who cares, But I'll admit that I just take everyone, like if I don't know a chatter, I just assume they're coming for me, because I just have the Mexican standoff position in all this as a solo, no team, no channel guy, and I love it. But in our case, between me and you, and even with me and Ian, I'm like, I really don't know what the big beef was. On Ian's channel, I got muted for supporting them. Like I was chatting support to their subject, and they muted me for it because they were so emotional.
Go on. I mean, like, you have the floor. I mean,
Now, you can find Peniel panels where I'm giving him a lot of shit, but it's just about his equipment, and it's in the context of like, Peniel, I want you to be better. I want your stream to run better. I want you to be heard and not clipping up all the time. The very first time I ever visited his panel, he was demanding I bring videos up for him. I was like, wait, I have no idea what's going on here right now. But I want to hear about Peniel's dad. Like every time I've ever heard him start to talk about his dad, somebody's like cutting him off or mad at him about it. So I'm like, Peniel, let's one-on-one on your channel. Let me hear about your dad in various contexts of weightlifter, absent father, whatever happened. I want to know. I'm interested. Like, honestly, guys, a lot of the time when I'm your bane of existence or I'm a channel's joker, if you go back a little further, I'm probably just making self-defense look like assault, or I'm probably taking up for another person, or just being all around light side Trevor,
Please go on. I mean, what can we say after a monologue like that? Don't stop. I mean, we haven't lost any viewers yet, so obviously that everyone's here for you, dude. So keep on going.
Well, that's their problem. Is like, if anyone's here for any of us, like on one hand, it's like nobody in these streets of Zoom calls should be hovering the viewer thing over people's heads, because that was an OG unslaved tactic that went along with his I'm going to mention chats that aren't even there. until I called him out on, like, no, I don't see that chat anywhere. No one said that. And he quit doing it. That's like the type of shit I was telling people in the beginning. Like, if you got a problem with that guy, I can help you. I know all his little games, all his little tricks, and I'm not upset. I'm about as obsessed as I was with the bullies in my high school. It's the same shit.
Dude,
And
if you would
half the
start your
plan-
own channel, you would be successful, man. You can fucking talk by yourself for hours, man, without even having issues of I mean,
so that is in the
I think
works.
maybe I envy you in the sense that you're very good at not, you don't stop talking.
I
man.
respect
It's like-
that because Provo and EBT sat me down one night. It was just the three of us on a panel, and they ran me through. And I mean, EBT was drunk as he does, but they ran me through like, dude, you have the capacity to just show up on any panel and somehow like be relevant or valid to that panel. Like you have that skill. But the funny thing is, the talks I'm in to do a channel, it's neither going to be about me nor have much paneling. I'm about to liquidate some assets to possibly put together the equipment to be free roaming on the land, yet still have the Wi-Fi and streaming that we have in our houses. But it is expensive to do that, and it comes with like a hefty monthly, like hundreds of dollars monthly to have that bandwidth following you on this globe. But we are in the talks for it. And I mean, everyone's done man on the street from Fleckus to Nuance Bro, but I'm gonna probably attempt my own brand of man on the street because I am like 1 degree of Kevin Bacon separated from various Colorado mass bang events. It's actually weird how closely I've been connected to those just through people that were involved and how they were connected to me. It's crazy. But there's a lot of shit that goes on in Colorado, so we're thinking like if we riot again, because whenever the Washington riots were happening, I didn't even know that shit was corresponding downtown Denver. I was sitting in my house doing whatever. And if I knew shit was popping off downtown, I probably would have ran down there with a phone or a camera and got some footage. But I saw it after the fact on news clips of YouTube. I was like, shit, that is down at the Capitol building. Look at them just fucking running mayhem and the cops aren't doing shit. Like, I think a lot of the country had like reactions to that Chaz Washington shit that was going down. That was like the left extreme side to where the conspiracy of the Alex Jones side, there's conspiracies that would say Alex Jones was supposed to get all the right-wing amosexuals to take to the streets with their rifles so that the government could enact martial law. And people think that Alex just didn't have that fire to light under our asses. But the reality is most amosexuals are responsible owners enough to not lose their shit and go do that. Like Kyle Rittenhouse did a very good. I was commending that boy that he only hit his 3 targets in that mayhem. Like I look at myself like, damn, I don't know if I would have gotten away with only hitting the 3 guys coming for me with that many chaotic people running around. I commend that dude that he only hit the people he wanted to hit. And a lot of that was like paintball from the waist shots that I don't even do that at the range much. I do that on my land fucking around, but I don't even go to ranges and do like paintball hip shots with 7.6 rounds. And he did that to save his ass. And when he cleared the jam on his rifle where it was the forward assist, dude, that never happens with M16s and ARs. When I was in basic training, they taught you the forward assist fix, but that it would ever be needed or have the effect was laughable. And in that historic televised event, that boy needed the forward assist button. Like that was the 1 in a million time you need it. And it was the time he was saving his life. I don't know if I would have responded that fast, but I'm also not primary AR guy. I'm primary not as many faults or jams with less cleaning guy.
Right.
The M16A2 is one of the greatest weapons ever made if you do OCD cleaning all day, every day when you're not shooting at people with it. But every environment you'll take it in, it will be a bitch, a high, high maintenance bitch, it will hate every environment you take it in. That's why in Vietnam, America was like, shit, this new rifle is kicking us in the ass. Because whether it's desert or rainy jungle, that A2 is going to shit on you if you don't maintain it constantly.
Eh? Oh, ouais, dans un live. Yeah. Sorry about that. Somebody just showed up.
Were you speaking German?
No, French.
Oh, okay. Je m'appelle Lumitomi.
Oh, mon Dieu. All right. So, guys, I'm going to be shutting this down.
Yeah, I'm
thank you
surprised we
to all
still-
the panelists that decided to come here today and share and chat and give their opinions on all the different topics that we had. A little bit of chaos, a little bit of structure. It was everything was in the show, guys. There was nothing missing today. It was all there. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And
Question in closing for OTW.
go ahead. If you have any last words that won't last an hour and a half, I guess you
Would
go.
you agree that we see now in a lot of these panels that there is that cycle of like getting the family holiday dinner fighting out of the way, and then when everybody's all burnt out and said their piece, that's where everyone relaxes and then gets down to the nitty gritty? I feel like that is the pattern I'm seeing, whether I'm there or not.
Right. Maybe I couldn't. I haven't made an assessment where I could give you a definite answer on that.
As a habitual panel hopper, I assure you, I see that. Christos, email in my description. I don't want to miss that next stream when you decide to randomly drop it.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Any
Hope to see
final
you there
words?
too, OTW.
Maybe it all depends on my schedule. Any thing you would like to add there, Mr. Christos de Leopolis?
No, I'll just say see you guys. Good stream.
Christos,
right.
you live in the U.S.?
Yep.
Say what?
Missouri.
OTW, get a bunch of Canada streamers together, and you guys should discuss the effects of Castro's son and how it's changed over like the jab era and how Canada is different now. If you
it's
would
not,
say it
it's
is.
not. It's not Canada. It's now called China. I don't know for your information.
Oh,
So
this is the United States of China. Like if you crossed your borders over here, this is the United States of China. They own enough of the US that they send the police over here to police their Chinese people.
Wow.
And this is our jurisdiction. It's like, what are you guys doing?
Right. So I am going to leave you guys with this amazing blues jam with OTW and Piano Pat there. I cloned myself. So I hope you guys enjoy this little jam session with me and myself.
Until next time.
Yeah, hold on a sec. I'm fucking everything happens at the same time. Someone arrives, the fucking phone rings. It's like, when you're trying to end it. So here, everybody enjoy. Much love. All right. See you next time, guys. Much love. Oh yeah, no, make sure to tune in later on tonight. We will be doing the 30-day Be the Best Version of You challenge. So make sure to tune in. I will be rebroadcasting the live of me training and doing the exercises to better my health and my physical, the way I look. So, all right. Much love to you guys, and see you later because I'll be back with the 30-day challenge. Be the best version of you, day 22, ladies and gentlemen. 22. This is going to be awesome. So, all right. Ciao. Much love to you all. Adios and peace.